Well, hello. Good evening, everybody. Long time no see. Hope everybody's ready for round two. I'm trying to be as ready as I can be for round two. We're going to try and plow through supplemental reports 51 through, I would like to get to 100. So if you guys are up for it, it's a Friday night. There's some good shit in here. We aren't even a minute in. I said a swear, so make sure you give it a thumbs up on your way in. Hello, everybody. Happy Friday night. Meg P, hi. How are you? I hope you're still here. Annie Ruler, good to see you. Momo, hello. How are you? Kelly, hello. Good to see you. New Orleans lady, yay. Hello. Love to see you. Yeah, we got a lot to go through tonight, friends. So if you missed any of the previous lives that I've done, I've already gone through. I did two lives. So we did one through like 31, and then I did 32 through 50, and tonight we're going to do 51 to hopefully 100. I'm sure many of you have already read through all of them. It's fine, so have I. I've already read ahead. I promise you this isn't my first time. No, I've already read way ahead. I already know all of it. But um, I'm doing it in increments here on purpose, a little bit at a time. Peaches, hello, you're back. Well, welcome on back. Gina, darling, always good to see you. Pagan Ways, hello. Beach Babe, hello. Welcome on in, everybody. So I have, so where am I? Let's see. I'm at 120, but tonight we're going to do like 51 to 100 at the very least. I mean, I'll try and get to 120 if you guys want me to, but not going to lie. I've been doing a lot of reading the last few days, and my eyeballs kind of burning out of my face. You know what I mean? But it's all right. We're going to roll with it. Meet some Z's. Hello. Welcome on in. Good to see you. All right. So, yeah, mods, thank you for being here. Truly appreciate you. Everyone, thank you for being here. I've given it a couple minutes. I'm going to let the notifications click in. If anybody else pops in and I don't see you or say hi to you, don't get mad. I'm going to be in another window reading. So, mods, just, I guess make sure you say hi to people when they come in. I don't really have rules here, and I'm not going to tell people what to do. So, follow your heart, right? That's what I say. Follow your heart. All right, let me remove that from the screen. D Smalls, hello. Welcome on in. Good to see you. All right, so let's start off with number 51. We're just going to get it crack-a-lackin', friends. We got a lot to go through. So, I didn't come to waste anybody's time, you know what I mean? Do I not have 51 open? Oh, come on, Annie. Get your life together. Hang on, let me get it open. Could have sworn I already had it open. Da, 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 da. Give me that. Give me that. Thank you. All right. Be that one. Your browser has blocked your screen. Click the screen icon in your address bar to allow access. Can you guys hear me? My browser has blocked my screen. I don't think so. Let's try this again. 51. Sound is good. Awesome. Thank you. As long as everybody can see this okay. Let me just go double check. Try not to close myself out. Okay, looks good. All right. Sound is good. Everything's good. Awesome. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Appreciate all of you. Anna D, hello. Just saw you pop in. Well, hello to you. Happy Friday, everybody. Sound is good. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Meg. Appreciate you, honey. Okay. So, what do we have here? What did I do? Now I don't even know which one I have open. It's this one. There we go. Well, I've always said I'm not a real YouTuber, guys. Here we go. Supplemental report 51 from Corporal Brett Payne, who, sidebar, before we get into this, Corporal Brett Payne is no longer a corporal with the Moscow Police Department. I don't know if y'all heard the news, but Corporal Brett Payne is no longer a law enforcement officer. He has accepted a non-law enforcement position at the university. Yay! Everybody give a round of applause for Corporal Brett Payne. Congratulations on your demotion, sir. Congratulations. You got a job working for the university, huh? You're going to be non-law enforcement for U of I. Interesting. Very, very interesting. And they were attempting to deputize him as a prosecutor so that he could still continue his role through trial. The state was attempting to deputize him. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that probably wasn't going to happen. But, that's just my opinion. But, I actually am not surprised in any way, shape, or form. And Willie, Lana, and for fuck's sake, Fitziana know exactly why I'm not surprised at all. Even a little. I'm not surprised even a little that he took a position working for the university. I have no doubt. He likely got his job at the police department because Green handpicked him. And that's just my personal opinion and always has been. I believe he was literally handpicked by none other than Scott Green from jump. But, what do I know? I don't know shit, right? So that's what I always say. You know what I say. No facts here. Don't listen to me. I know nothing. So, yes, everybody give a big round of applause for Brett Payne. He is no longer in law enforcement. I don't know what else to say other than I literally couldn't be happier to know that this man is never, ever in his life again going to write another probable cause affidavit or apply for a warrant. Hopefully never again. Hopefully never, ever, ever again. I concur. I concur that Brett Payne should not be in law enforcement. And I'm glad that he has taken a non-law enforcement position. I actually couldn't be happier. So, and that's just my opinion and I'm entitled to it. So if anybody doesn't like it, oh well, there's a cry closet somewhere for you that you could utilize, I'm sure. Let's see. Justine, hello. Sudie, hello. All right. Amethyst, hello, darling. Joanna, hello. All right, guys, we're going to get into this document. I just wanted to say some highs and give my commentary on Brett Payne no longer being in law enforcement. Now, enough with my bullshit, and let's get on to this. So this is, let's see, supplemental report number 51 from Brett Payne, written on December 4th. This is the initial scene response and evidence collection. Let's see, so what do we have here? Well, we have a foot casting. Interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fingerprint lifts. Cell phone. 1, 2 laptops. Knife sheath. White blanket. Blue phone. Another fingerprint. Steak knife. 17 through 43 blood swab. So what's that? 26? 17 to 43. 17 plus 26 is 43, right? Or is my math wrong? It's been a long day. I'm probably wrong. 17 to 20. Yeah, no. Yeah, I'm right. Disposable camera. Interesting. 2 more laptops. 1, 2, 3. Another iPad. Game bags. Let's look here. Just want to see something. So he's collected 1, 2 cell phones. 2 cell phones. Oh, okay. There's 6 people in the house, right? 4 victims. Maybe it'll be somewhere later. Okay. Well, let's move on. Latex gloves. Approximately 1600 hours, so 4 p.m. On November 13th, Sergeant Blaker and I responded to 1122 King Road to assist with scene security processing. Upon our arrival, the ISP forensics team was on scene and was preparing to begin processing the scene. Officer Smith, one of the initial responding officers to the incident, advised he would walk me through the scene. Sergeant Blaker and I, but he's going to walk him through the scene. OFC Smith and I entered 1122 King Road through the bottom floor door on the north side of the building. Upon entering, I observed a small bedroom on the west side of the bottom floor. The door was ajar, and I could see a bed with covers and several other miscellaneous personal items strewn about. Oh, well, that's interesting. This happens to be the room on the same floor as Bethany, where she thinks she's hearing a firework and seeing fucking sparks coming out from under her door. And there's a bed in that room with covers and several items, miscellaneous personal items strewn about. Okay, well, what do you mean miscellaneous personal items? Do you mean the golf clubs that were in that room? Do you mean, like, what are these miscellaneous personal items, right? Strewn about. And there's a bed with covers. And as we'll see later as we get through these documents, allegedly this room that he's talking about is Kaylee and Maddie's office. And that's where Kaylee uses it to do her, quote, work. It's allegedly an office, as we'll see further in the documents. It's an office. Okay. The room did not appear to have been occupied by anyone, as I did not see any clothes inside. I followed OFC Smith down the hall where there was a small bedroom. Next to the small bathroom, to the east, was what I later learned was a utility closet. This closet had a pin code style lock and was secured. Well, why didn't you, sidebar, Payne, why didn't you request to boot the door like Don Daniels did when serving the search warrant on Brian Koberger's apartment and the second bedroom door was locked? Why didn't you just get permission to boot the door? A utility closet that has a PIN code lock and secure? Okay. Okay. I have a utility closet in my house. It doesn't have a PIN code security lock on it. So that's interesting. I looked into the bedroom on the east end of the bottom floor, which I later learned belonged to Bethany Funk. The room had normal clothes and personal items about, but otherwise did not seem out of the ordinary. Okay. Officer Smith and I then walked upstairs to the second floor. The stairs ended in a small living room. There was a sectional style couch along the east and south wall of the room. There is also a small TV in a void on the northeast corner of the room. I also saw a black backpack on the floor just east of the top of the stairs. What was in the backpack? Did you look in the backpack? Like, here's the thing, right? Sidebar, when these officers are doing these supplemental reports, like, I don't understand how they're not required to be more detailed. So when you make a statement like this, you saw a black backpack on the floor when you came into the crime scene, right? Okay. Did you look in it? Did you open it? At this point, the place is a crime scene. I understand you're still waiting for a search warrant for the house, but you know, even in your probable cause affidavit, you've already gone through Xana's belongings, you found her ID, you rummaged through things. I don't think you waited for your search warrant to do that. So, you know, I'd be interested, like, Okay, well, what was in the backpack? And why didn't you include it in here when you saw the backpack? What did you guys do? What'd you do about the backpack? Enough of my bullshit. Officer Smith then directed me down the hallway to the west bedroom on the second floor, which I later learned was Anna Carnota's room. Just before this room, there was a bathroom door on the south wall of the hallway. As I approached the room, I could see a body, later identified as Carnota's, laying on the floor. Carnota was laying on her back with her feet facing east and her head facing west. Carnota had thong-type underwear on and a gray sweatshirt. There was a large amount of blood on the floor and Carnota as well. I could see numerous wounds on Carnota's arms, hands, and face, which appeared to have been caused by an edged weapon. Just next to Carnota on the west wall was a small white nightstand, which appeared to have been moved as it was pushed against the wall at an odd angle. There was blood on this nightstand and in various locations. The bed in Carnota's room was situated on the south wall of the bedroom, with the head of the bed appearing to be towards the west wall. I could see a male, later identified as Ethan Chapin, laying on his back in the bed with some type of blanket pulled over his midsection. Chapin's body was at an angle on the bed so that his head was up against the south wall and his feet were hanging off the bed on the north side. I could not clearly see the wounds to Chapin's head and neck area, but could see a very large amount of blood in the bed, as well as what appeared to be blood spatter on the wall next to Chapin's head and neck. I also noticed 2 large cuts to the back of Chapin's legs. I'm going to pause right here. Sidebar, we read the supplemental report for the autopsy. Now, I understand we haven't read the medical examiner's full report, but in that supplemental report for the autopsies, nowhere is anything said about injuries to Ethan's legs or the back of his legs. Nothing is said about his legs in the supplemental report for the autopsy. So that's interesting that Payne is saying he sees 2 large cuts to the back of Ethan Chapin's legs. These wounds appeared to be deep into the tissue, but were difficult to see due to Ethan's body position. Interesting. Officer Smith then took me through the house and pointed out Dylan Mortenson's bedroom, which was situated on the southeast side of the second floor of the house. Mortenson's bedroom door opened to the kitchen area as well as the staircase, which led to the third floor of the house. Upon my brief visual inspection, Mortenson's room was disheveled, but did not appear to have any blood or evidence of a struggle within. Okay. Payne, you did a brief visual inspection. Did not appear to have any blood or evidence. Well, I mean, how would you know if the room is fucking disheveled and you only did this brief visual inspection? I mean, whatever. ISP, I'm sure. Let's hope, FBI at least. Even if the ISP, even if none of these other people did it right, let's hope the FBI at the very least. I mean, I'm on a hope and a prayer here that these fucking spooks at least did it right while they were there, for God's sake. I then followed Officer Smith upstairs to the third floor of the residence. The third floor consisted of 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. The bedroom on the west side of the floor was later determined to be Kaylee Gonsalves's room. This room appeared neat and picked up. The only thing of note was the sheets on the bed were pulled back in a manner which suggested someone had been laying in the bed and then got out. Officer Smith then pointed out a small bathroom on the east side of the third floor. This bathroom shared a wall with Madison Mogan's bedroom, which was situated on the southeast corner of the third floor. As I entered this bedroom, I could see 2 females in the single bed in the room. The bed was situated along the north wall of the bedroom, and both females, later identified as Mogan and Gonsalves, were laying on their backs with their heads towards the east and their feet towards the west, which was also the direction of the only door into the room. Both Gonsalves and Mogan had numerous visible stab wounds and were covered in a significant amount of blood. I also later noticed, I also later noticed what appeared to be a tan leather knife sheath laying on the bed next to Mogan's right side. I remained in the room for a moment and then proceeded back outside. How much later? What do you mean you also later noticed Payne, right? This is it, I don't know how they were going to get through trial. I really don't know how they were going to get through trial answering these questions. I also later noticed. When later? When later? How long were you in the room? How much later did you notice the knife sheath? I remained on scene and conducted several more thorough walkthroughs of the scene with ISP forensics team, the Latah County coroner, and the Latah County prosecutor. Upon receipt of the search warrant prepared by Officer Nunes, the ISP forensics team, led by Detective Sergeant Darren Gilbertson, processed the scene and collected an initial 56 pieces of evidence. The ISP team turned these items over to me that evening, and I transported them to the MPD temporary evidence storage. Interesting. On the morning of 11/14, I booked the items into MPD evidence with the help of evidence custodian TS. The ISP team turned over 56 pieces of evidence to Brett Payne, and he transported them to the MPD evidence storage. That would include that sheet that he later found. And as we'll later see in these documents, oh, well, wouldn't you know, he also finds the bloody fucking glove, too. Well, would you look at that? Out the gate, Captain America finding sheets, finding bloody gloves, finding blood all over Showalter's apartment. It's just wild. It's absent. My flabber is gasted. Sorry, guys, I can't see chat. I'm literally over here reading these things to myself and talking to myself. I'm sorry. Love you all. Thank you for being here. Happy Friday, everybody. I'm not sure how many of you are here, but thank you for being here. So that is interesting. The Idaho State Police gave Brett Payne 56 pieces of evidence, including the sheet that he found. I mean, yeah. For the love. All right. Stop sharing that one. Okay, so that was number 51. We come back over to chat. Hello, Mama Five. Hello, how are you? Hope everybody's having a great night. Typically unique. Oh my goodness, hello. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right. Let's go to number, what was that? Whatever. My thing will tell me. That was 52. Bunny Murphy. Hello. Joanna. Hello. It's 53. Oopsie. What did I do? All right. Here we go. Number 53. So this is supplemental report number 53 from Tyson Barrett on 12/5. Information from U of I Office of Civil Rights and Investigation on 12/5. I provided E with a USB flash memory drive and she downloaded information that was requested by the investigation team. I'm not exactly sure why they were at the University of Idaho's Office of Civil Rights, but there's an Alex Skelton from the FBI who specifically requested that they go get this information from the University of Idaho's Office of Civil Rights and Investigations. So, not exactly sure what that is. It was 53. Let's get over to 54. Why? Why is this happening? Hang on. What's this? Let's refresh. There we go. All right, cool. Making sure you can see that. Okay, awesome. Make that a little bigger. All right, so this is supplemental report number 54. In case anybody's ever wondering, I will usually try to highlight it right here on the left-hand side. Lawrence Mowry, December 5th. This is the Tinder warrant for Kaylee. November 29th, 2022, I applied for and was granted a warrant for any data associated with Kaylee Gonsalves Tinder accounts, plural, using the following identifiers, which she had two, one for Yahoo, one for Gmail. On November 29, 2022, at approximately 17:09, the warrant was served. On December 2nd, I received an email from NR, Senior Paralegal and Director of the Legal Department for Match Group, the parent company for Tinder. In this email, I was directed to use the law enforcement portal and resubmit the warrant. On December 4th, 2022, I registered for access to the portal and received an email stating I was approved to use the portal and serve the warrant. I logged into the alert portal and submitted the warrant again per R's request. On December 5th, I received an email from Tinder stating the data requested pursuant to the warrant was available to download. Logged into the law enforcement portal and began downloading the files to the forensic computers located in the secure forensic computer lab at the Moscow Police Department. Completed the warrant, returned receipt and affidavit. Documents were sent to the Latah County Prosecutor's Office to be returned to the court. I also emailed a copy of the receipt to Tinder, as this was the original email with the address. Okay. So it looks like she had more than one Tinder account. Looks like two. One attached to a Yahoo and one attached to a Gmail. All right. All right. Let me just close out some of these that we've already gone through. We can close out 51. Let's close out 52. Close out 53. And what do we got here? Oopsie, did I close out 54 by accident? I think I did. That's okay. $54. Oh, no, wait. 54 is the one I just read. Okay. Durr. Get it together, Annie. Here we go. Number 55. Oh, Lucy. Hello, darling. How are you? I just saw you. Welcome on in. Happy Friday to you. Hope you're having a good night. All right. 5. Okay. So 55, supplemental report 55. This is from Lawrence Mowry. It is for the Department of Labor warrant on December 4th, 2022. I found that I had received an email forwarded to me from KW of the Idaho Department of Labor. The email was from Michael Douglas of the FBI. Special Agent Douglas assisted in the service of the warrant to the Department of Labor. The email contained a single file with the data requested pursuant to the warrant served on the IDOL. The file was downloaded and saved onto a computer located in the Secure Computer Forensics Lab at the Moscow Police Department. In examining the file, It showed the requested party's name, date of birth, and social security number with a corresponding screenshot of their reported income. Completed the warrant, blah, 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 sent it to the Latah County Prosecutor's Office. And that was number 55. Okay. Let's go to number 56. I will fucking refresh all of these. Okay. All right, supplemental report number 56. Listen, Linda, I just saw you out of the corner of my eye. Welcome on in. Good to see you. Willie, what up? Oh shit, what up? Yay. Willie's here. Welcome on in, homie. Good to see you. All right, so what do we got here? We have supplemental report number 56. This is, let me make it bigger. Lawrence Mowry. This is for the K-Bar warrant. On December 4th, 2022, I found that I had received an email forwarded to me from PM of Cutco Corporation, the parent company of K-Bar Knives. The email was from Michael Douglas of the FBI. Here we go, yet again. Another FBI, because Douglas assisted in the service of the warrant to K-Bar. So Department of Labor, K-Bar. FBI is the one assisting in the warrants for this stuff. Okay? Which is why he's getting emails. This is why Mowry is getting these forwarded emails, okay, from PM of Cutco, parent company of K-Bar, because it's actually the FBI, Michael Douglas, Shirley, all these guys. These are the ones actually putting in the warrants. The email contained a single file with the data requested pursuant to the warrant served on K-Bar. The file was downloaded and saved onto a computer located in a secure computer forensics lab located at the Moscow Police Department. In examining the file, I located numerous individuals and companies who had purchased products matching the descriptions in the warrant. In the state of Idaho, the following sales of 1,217 knives were located. So let's see what we can see here. This one stuck out to me. August 23rd, 2022, MC in Coeur d'Alene. And this is just purely my speculation and my opinion, and I'm only throwing it out there. The reason it stuck out to me is because I saw the initials. I thought Maisie Chapin, and I know they have their summer home in Coeur d'Alene. So that is the only reason that I think that, but that is just my opinion, and I don't know shit, and there are no facts here, right? I am not trying to get sued or anything like that. It's just my speculation. But it's probably not. What else? What else stuck out to me here? Let's see. In Washington. So these were all the ones for Idaho. Okay. So Idaho had 1,217 knives in their state. Oh, wait. 1217 might just be the description. Scratch that. I'm stupid, and this is why I say don't listen to me. 1217 is the serial, like the identity of the knife, I believe. My bad. In Washington, the following sales of 1217 knives were located. We have, let's see. Why did this one stick out to me? Oh, Bellingham. M.R. Bellingham. Now, I'm not going to say who's from Bellingham, but if you've paid attention to this case for a while, you know exactly who's from Bellingham, with the last initial R on their name. I like to call him the Whistler. What was the other one that stuck out to me? Oh, and these, okay, so this is the other one. The following sales of the 1217S, yeah, see, 1217S K-Bar sheath. This is for the sheath. Were also located. we have, oh, I probably should have been telling you guys the date. Yeah, so July 22nd, 2022, this MR person in Bellingham purchased a K-bar knife. Okay, so the other first two that we saw, those are knives, actual knife purchases. One was on August 23rd, one was on July 22nd. One in Idaho, one in Washington. That stuck out to me anyway, that I found to be interesting. But I also have brain worms, so don't listen to me. K-bar sheath. This one stuck out to me. September 12th, 2022. We have a JP out of Mount Vernon. And I know one of the victims, if I remember correctly, that is where his family is from, correct? When they're not at their Coeur d'Alene summer home, or when they're not at Priest Lake, they're usually, I believe, they reside in Mount Vernon. So that's the only reason that one stuck out to me. Other models were also listed on the return data. Okay, so there's that. That was number 56. Stop showing that, close that one out. Let's get to number 57. Hope everybody's having a good Friday night. Thanks for hanging out with me. It's not usual, it's not normal to get me on a Friday night, that's for sure. So thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Not rare you're going to get me on a Friday night. So here we go, number 57. Lawrence Mowry, December 5th. This is for the Google geofence warrant. Sidebar, real quick. If I remember correctly, isn't there an episode on Socialite Crime Club where Cy Ray talks about how he is the one who helped to create and or created, don't quote me, this is something to the effect of, I'm not quoting Cy, but it was something to the effect of, he is the one who wrote the template for these Google geofence warrants that law enforcement uses. I feel like I remember an episode where he talks about he's the one who actually wrote the template that many of these law enforcement agencies rely on for their Google geofence warrants. I could be wrong, but I feel like that is that's something stuck in my brain from back in the day. Maybe for fuck's sake, Fitziana remembers, or maybe Twiz remembers. Actually, if anybody remembers, it's Twiz, but he ain't here, so I don't know. I feel like I specifically remember Cy saying he wrote the template for the Google geofence warrants, but I'm not sure though. Could be wrong, but I do feel like I remember that. I remember him saying that. All right, so what do we got here? On November 18th, 2022, I applied for and was granted a geofence warrant for any data associated with the anonymized information located within the following latitude-longitude points. Special Agent Nick Balance with the FBI, here we go again, FBI, assisted in the production and service of the warrant. On November 18th, 2022, at approximately 2300 hours, the warrant was served by email at Google. On November 20th, 2022, Special Agent Balance received notice the data requested pursuant to the warrant was available. The data files were downloaded to the forensic computers located in the Secure Forensic Computer Lab at the Moscow Police Department. Based on the information received and in correlation with the cell tower records previously reviewed, two of the anonymous identifiers were found to be of interest. So, two in their tower dump, I guess, were found to be of interest. That's why they wanted this geofence. On November 20th, I applied for and was granted a warrant for any data associated with the previous identifiers, including subscriber information. Special Agent Nick Balance with the FBI assisted in the production and service of the warrant. On November 20th at approximately 2200 hours, the warrant was served email at Google. On November 20th, Special Agent Balance received notice the data requested pursuant to the warrant was available. The data files were downloaded to the forensic computers located in the secure forensic computer lab at the Moscow Police Department. It was found one of the identifiers came back to the phone number of redacted. I completed the warrant, return, receipt, and affidavit. These documents were sent to the Latah County Prosecutor's Office to be returned to the court. I also emailed a copy to Google, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so only one of these identifiers came back to a phone number, even though there were two of interest. Only one came back, huh? Two. Two identifiers found one of the identifiers came back to the phone number of redacted. All right. So that was number 57. Let's get on to supplemental report number 58. Make that bigger. Get over here. All right. Here we go. Supplemental report number 58. Lawrence Mowry, December 5th. These are the meta warrants. On November 21st, 2022, I requested and was granted a warrant for Meta, the parent company for Facebook and Instagram, for the accounts associated with the following identifiers. 1, 2, 3, 4 for Instagram, 3 for Facebook. On November 21st, 2022, I logged into the Meta law enforcement portal located at link and served the warrants at the following times. Okay. During the service of the warrant, I found I was not able to add the phone number of redacted as an identifier for JD. I'm assuming it's Jack Decor, but what do I know? This information was not entered into the portal. Not able to add the phone number of redacted as an identifier for JD. Information not entered into the portal. I received an email from redacted at Records Facebook providing me with internal case IDs. On November 30th, I logged into the portal and downloaded the files provided pursuant to the warrant. These files were downloaded to a computer in the secure forensics lab at the Moscow Police Department. An examination of the data will be conducted at my earliest convenience. No information was returned for the account associated with the phone number redacted. Interesting. So I'm guessing Jack just had no Facebook, right? That's what I conclude from that. If the JD is Jack Decor, maybe he just didn't have Facebook, but I think he does though. I feel like I've seen his Facebook before. It's been a while, but I feel like I do remember seeing Jack Decor's Facebook, so maybe it's not Jack. I don't know shit. You know what I mean? All right, so that was number 58. Let's check number 59. Trying to get to 100 tonight, friends, so hopefully you're down to hang out for a little bit. I know you guys have already heard it all, so, you know, I know you already know it, and you've already heard it, and you've probably already read it all yourself. So I truly, truly appreciate you hanging out here with me and listening to me read it out loud, you know? All right, 59. Let's see. All right, so supplemental report 59, Lawrence Mowry, December 5th. Man, he's just banging these things out on December 5th, huh? Victim phone extractions. On November 15, 2022, I contacted Detective Taylor of the Coeur d'Alene Police Department with a request for an agency assist. I requested assistance unlocking the cell phones of Kaylee, Maddie, Xana, and Ethan, the victims in this case. I emailed Detective Taylor a copy of the signed warrant describing the phones as being searchable. On November 16, 2022, the phones were transported to the Coeur d'Alene Police Department for a forensic brute force attempt to unlock them. However, Detective Taylor stated he was not able to extract any information from the locked phones, and the phones were not supported for brute force PIN code extraction. The phones were then returned to the Moscow Police Department on November 17th. I then asked for assistance from Captain Tyson Barrett in attempting to gain PIN codes from family members to access the data on the devices. I was provided PIN codes from Mogan, Kernodle, and Chapin, which successfully unlocked the devices. The PIN codes provided for Gonsalves' phone did not unlock the device. Interesting. Remember in one of the other lives when I was talking about how Olivia, I'm just going to have a sidebar here, she only gave screenshots of the text messages between Kaylee and Grower. She only gave certain information that she had access to out of Kaylee's phone to them, when she could have just given it all, right? I mean, I don't know. It's just, and then we see here that the family members, so according to Mowry here, Tyson Barrett is getting PIN numbers from family members, and the PIN that was provided for Kaylee's phone didn't unlock the device. The PIN didn't work. The other ones did. Mogan, Kernodle, and Chapin, those PINs that were provided by their family members, that worked. On the 3 devices I was able to unlock, I performed advanced logical extractions on the devices at Moscow Police Department. A report for each device will be completed separately. Well, thank God. Can't wait to get to those. Somebody's probably already got to them before me. I haven't gotten there yet. If they're, don't give me no damn spoilers. I want to see it myself. Don't put it in chat if you already got to the reports for each device. I don't want the spoilers, please. On November 20th, 2022, I again requested the assistance of Detective Taylor in gaining a full file system extraction on the 3 unlocked devices. The phones were delivered to the Coeur d'Alene Police Department on November 21st, 2022. On November 22nd, 2022, Detective Taylor stated he would not be able to complete the extractions. Same day that they are moving the sheath and/or the sheath profile or both. On November 23rd, 2022, I went to the Coeur d'Alene Police Department and picked up the phones. I then took them to the Post Falls Police Department and spoke with Detective Urig. Detective Urig informed me his forensics tools would not support a full file system extraction. On November 25th, so 2 days later, I went to the Walla Walla Police Department and spoke with Detective Chris Ruchert. Detective Ruchert stated her forensics tools would be able to support a full file system extraction on the unlocked devices, and she would be able to complete limited extraction on Gonsalves' locked phone. I left the phones with Detective Ruchert to be extracted. On November 28th, so what's that, 2 days later? Was that the 25th? Okay, 3 days later. On November 28th, Detective Ruchert informed me the phone extractions were complete and ready to be picked up. On November 29th, Detective Justin Dean picked up the phones and returned them to the Moscow Police Department. I received the 4 devices and placed them in the secure computer forensics lab. The extracted data was copied to the forensic computers and verified by hash values. Examination of the data will be completed at my earliest convenience. So that's Detective Mowry Supplemental report number 59. Let's get on into number 60. Right. Let me come over to chat before I open this document up. It says there's 68 of you here. Thank you for being here. Happy Friday. Give it a thumbs up. Give it a thumbs down. While you're hanging out, do something if you're going to be here, right? Just want to make sure I'm not missing anybody. Okay, I don't think I'm missing anybody. All right. Mama 5, you need spoilers? I don't want the spoilers on the phone reports. I want to see it myself, right? Don't give me no spoilers. All right. Let's go here and here. Let's get to report number 60. All right. Supplemental report number 60. Another one from Detective Mowry on December 5th. Like I said, he's just cranking these fucking things out on December 5th, man. On December 1st, 2022, I applied for and was granted a warrant for any data associated with Kaylee Gonsalves' Yahoo account using the following identifiers. On December 1st, 2022, at approximately 13:55, the warrant was served. On December 4th, 2022, I received an email from Yahoo stating the data requested pursuant to the warrant were available to download. I received an email with a link to download the data. I logged into the law enforcement portal and began downloading the files to the forensic computers located in the secure forensic computer lab at the Moscow Police Department. Completed the warrant return receipt and affidavit. These documents were sent. Latah County Prosecuting Office. Funny. FBI didn't help out with these, huh? All right. Supplemental report number 60. Kaylee's Yahoo. Stop sharing that. Number 61. Okay. Supplemental report number 61. What do we got here? Oopsie. All right. Lawrence Mowry again, December 6th. Okay, so we're off December 5th. This is for the Verizon Penn warrant. It's for, I believe, I'm assuming is Molly McMichael. I don't think it's Maddie Mogan because it says link to a possible witness. MN. So I'm assuming that's Molly McMichael. November 22nd, 2022, I applied for and was granted a Penn warrant for any data associated with the phone number redacted, which was linked to a possible witness, MN. Ooh, well, look who helped out with this one, huh? McBalance, with the FBI, assisted in the production and service of the warrant. On November 22nd, 2022, at approximately 20:26 hours, the warrant was served via fax. On November 22nd, 2022, Special Agent Balance. So this is all on the same day that they're moving the sheet, the profile, or both. They're getting a Penn warrant for Molly McMichael's phone. All on the same day they're moving the sheath and the DNA profile. November 22nd. On November 22nd, Special Agent Balance received notice the data requested pursuant to the warrant was available. The data files were downloaded to the forensic computers located in the secure forensic computer lab at the Moscow Police Department. The Penn register, trap, and trace data were terminated on November 30th. So they trapped and traced her for 8 days, huh? Hey, Molly girl. Molly, you in danger, girl. Did you know that they Penn trapped and traced you for 8 days, darling? Penn register trap and trace data was terminated on November 30th, 2022. 8 days. Molly was subsequently identified, located, and interviewed as a witness by, well, Corporal Brett Payne. Would you look at that? Payne's also the one who stopped her, and she said, well, I'm friends with Bill Thompson, so, yeah, interesting. Penn register trap and trace. And they got it on the same day that they're moving the sheath and the DNA profile to Opera. Interesting. And they got 8 days worth of her shit. Interesting. All right. Which one was that? That was number 61. Stop sharing that. Let's get into number 62. Literal brain worms. That's all I can say. It's brain worms. All right. Let's share this one. Supplemental report number 62. Anthony Dollinger. 12/8 disposable camera seized. And vehicle keys. Not the only one either. Payne found a disposable camera. If I remember correctly, it is in with the general narrative 1 through 50. You will find there is a 29-page document in there. And in that 29 pages, it talks about basically everything collected out of that house. And if I counted correctly and remember correctly, it was 8 or 9 disposable cameras collected from this home, which is really interesting. I'm pretty sure I counted more than one, if I remember correctly, on that list, but don't quote me. This is the item 295. It's a Kodak Power Flash disposable camera. And this is supplemental report number 62 from Dollinger. On December 7th, 2022, at approximately 1000 hours. Why is my brain melting when I look at that? Okay, December 7th, approximately, whatever. I was assisting with the packing and moving of personal belongings out of the residence at 1122 King Street. Okay, sidebar. Guys, it's December 7th, bro, and they're already packing shit up and moving it out. Nobody's even been arrested. No defense attorney's been assigned. Nobody's been arrested. And they're cleaning out the crime scene. We all know this. I know. We saw them pull up the U-Haul or whatever. But isn't that wild? Absolutely wild. December 7th. Assisting in packing and moving personal belongings out of the residence. Captain Barrett and I were in the process of packing items from Kaylee Gonsalves' room on the 3rd floor. Inside the closet, I was removing items from a black plastic 3-drawer organizer. In the bottom of the drawer, I located a Kodak Power Flash disposable camera and a GoPro camera and a small black zippered pouch. Okay. I was unaware if these items had been located during any of the previous searches of the residence, so I took custody of them until I could learn that information. I advised Captain Barrett of the items and showed them to him. After completing the packing and moving of the personal belongings, I brought the GoPro and the Kodak camera back to the police department. Did you put it in any evidence bags or anything? You just left it like that on its own? Prior to leaving the residence, I also took possession of the keys to all the vehicles belonging to the deceased. Once back at the police department, I locked the items into temporary storage locker in the evidence processing room. I later contacted the investigative team and learned the memory card from the GoPro was seized during a previous search of the residence, so the camera itself was of no evidentiary value. Really? The memory card from the GoPro was seized, huh? Okay. Go look at something real quick. We're gonna look at this real quick. Oopsie, closed out the wrong thing. Hang on. Let me put that back up for you. So sorry. Memory card from the GoPro was seized during a previous search of the residence. Huh. Really now. SD card from a GoPro, huh? See if that's listed anywhere on our evidentiary list. Because I don't remember seeing anything about an SD card from a GoPro. Let's see, we got 29 pages here. If I take down the other one, if I find it, I'll share it with you. Hang on. I'm looking. Welfare check on November 21st, 2022. Related incident. You know what? Let me just stop sharing this one for a second so we can all look at this together. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. Stop sharing that one. Let's get over here. Share this. It's your Spillman report. It's your general, Spillman here. So this is the one that I was trying to tell you guys. It's 29 pages, okay? Starts out, it basically just lists like, let's see, complainant, all right? So let's see, we'll start here. Homicide. We have the last initial F, first initial B. This is Bethany when she's calling in the thing, the homicide or whatever, okay? Brett Payne, blah, blah, blah. When it was reported, 11:56 a.m. It's right here, November 13th, 2022, okay? And then as you get into this, you'll see that, we have the dates, right? These are all subpoenas. Spillman. Let's see, what do we have here? So we have this on July 12th, 2023, threatening, related. This is a related incident for threatening. June 21st, burglary, related. February 7th, 2023, accident, non-injury, related incident. This case number right here. November 21st, 2022, a welfare check. 1-3, Brian Koberger, he's the offender. Okay. Then we have this SD, November 17th, 2022, involved. SD. Then we have a 11/17/2022, NJ, witness. NJ, witness. 11/17/2022, HJ, involved. 11/16/2022, NK, involved. 11/15/2022, CP, involved. 11/15/2022, PB, involved. We got a couple of honorable mentions here, an SL and an LD. Or, I'm sorry, SJ and an SL. 11/15, we have an AA, KJ involved. So that wasn't the point of this. We want to go look. I was just showing all of this to you guys so that you could see. This is your report here, okay? The 29 pages that I was talking about. Now, we want to see if we can see whether or not it's logged here that an SD card from a GoPro was collected. Let's see, we're going to search the document, SD card, nothing. All right, let's type GoPro, nothing. Let's just type SD. We get one. Here we go, 247. We do have an SD card. 1120, is that the same one he's talking about? Stop sharing that. Let me go take a peeky poo. 1120, item 247, SD card. We have no idea, do we? This just says disposable camera seized and vehicle keys, M107. Item 295 is the Kodak Power Flash disposable camera. Doesn't say nothing about the item number for the GoPro. Interesting. All right. I don't want to waste no more time. Sorry, friends. Sometimes, you know, something will hit me and I say, I gotta go look at that. Sorry. Okay, so that's weird. We only get one return for SD card in that document. I don't know if it's the one to the GoPro. Couldn't tell you. I don't think it is. Item 24, what was it? 251, 25 what? Let me go look at that again. Son of a bitch. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I'm not going to give myself any more brain worms. Let's continue. On December 8th, 2022, I met with Property Coordinator TS. S assisted me in booking the Kodak camera into evidence. I then took the vehicle keys and the GoPro camera to the city shop where the rest of the personal belongings from the 1122 King Street residence were being stored. I placed the GoPro camera into one of the boxes containing Kaylee Gonzalez's belongings. I left the vehicle keys contained in a Ziploc bag also in the storage area with the other belongings. Okay. So that was supplemental report number 62. Number 63. Make that bigger. All right. All right, supplemental report number 63, Tyson Barrett, 12-8, removing personal items from 1122 King Road. On December 7th, 2022, at about 9:45, I met with MPD command staff members at 1122 King Road to package and remove personal items of the victims. Captain Dollinger and I packaged belongings in Kaylee Gonzalez's room. I worked along the north and west side of the room, and Captain Dollinger worked along the south and east. While I was packaging items, I noticed $125 in cash on the dresser. One $100 bill, one $10 bill, two $5 bills, and five $1 bills. Captain Dollinger and I both counted the money, and I put it in a small clutch. I placed the clutch in one of the boxes and marked the box that it had cash in it. Nobody else noticed this cash laying on the dresser, right? Sidebar, does Payne, Blaker, any of them talk about money? Other than in that report that we find out there's a rolled up $2 bill with some blue powder on someone's desk. I think it was in Ethan and Xana's room, right? Nobody else talks about the money on her desk. And this guy's talking about it still sitting there on December 7th. And he just put it in the small clutch in a bag, I guess. I placed the clutch in one of the boxes and marked the box that it had cash in it. And he marked it that it had cash in it. So, hey, anybody, if you want to be a thief, guess what? This box right here, it's got some cash in it. And I wrote it on the side of the box so you'd know it. Know what I mean? What the fuck? Captain Dollinger and I both initialed the box. After all the personal items that were recoverable were packaged, we moved them to a U-Haul van and transported them to the Moscow City shop. At the shop, we unloaded the packages in a secure building. Okay, that was number 63. 64. Fix that. Come over here. All right. 64. Let's go. Supplemental report number 64. Lawrence Mowry, 12/8. Tinder warrant users. On December 6, 2022, I applied for and was granted a warrant for the use of subscriber information associated with the accounts, plural, that communicated with Kaylee Gonsalves's Tinder accounts, plural, using the following identifiers. On December 6, 2022, at approximately 15:19, the warrant was served. On December 7th, I received an email from Tinder stating the data requested pursuant to the warrant were available to download. I logged into the law enforcement portal and began downloading the files to the forensic computers located in the secure forensic computer lab at the Moscow Police Department. I completed the warrant return receipt and affidavit. These documents were sent to the Latah County Prosecutor's Office to be returned to the court. Okay. She had 2 Tinders, huh? All right. I mean, shit. Live your best life, girl, I guess. You know what I mean? Good for you, Kaylee. You were with the same dude since you were a damn teenager. You know what I mean? Good for you, darling. At your age, at that age, you should have had 2 Tinders and no boyfriend. I agree. You know, I'm being dead serious. I'm just saying. Too young to be locked down with the same dude since you were like 15. Say what? That's just my opinion. You know. Then again, maybe, she had 2 accounts for 2 reasons. I don't know. We just never know. We never know these kids and why they do what they do, right? We just never know. I can try to think back to when I was that age, why I would have done it, why I would have too, but we didn't have that shit back then when I was in my 20s. There was no Tinder. What's the other one there? The fish one. Yeah, we didn't have none of that. So I try and put myself in the position of like, well, why would, well, we, I don't know. We'll never know why these kids do what they do. All right, so 2 Tinders for the beautiful Kaylee. I support this decision wholeheartedly. All right, let's close that one out. That was supplemental report number 64. Let's get into number 65. All right, number 65. Okay. All right, this is another one from Lawrence Mowry. December 8th, 2022. It's a Tinder warrant from Maddie. On December 6, 2022, I applied for and was granted a warrant for the use of subscriber information associated with the Tinder account of Maddie Mogan with the following identifiers. On December 6th, at approximately 15:19 hours, the warrant was served. On December 7th, I received an email from Tinder stating the data requested pursuant to the warrant were available to download. I logged into the law enforcement portal and began downloading the files to the forensic computers located in the secure forensic computer lab at the Moscow Police Department. In reviewing the contents, I found no recent communications with other accounts. The newest communication appears to have happened in 2021. Good for you, Maddie girl, being faithful to your boyfriend. Completed the warrant, blah, 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 returned it to Latah County, blah, blah, blah. So apparently Maddie, even though, yes, Maddie did have a Tinder, apparently she was not using it. There were no recent communications, and the newest communication for Maddie happened in 2021, so looks like she was, well, at least on Tinder anyway, she's being faithful to her man while he's in Boise. Good girl, Maddie. Good girl. All right, let's close that one. That was 65. Let's go to number 66. Fitzy. No, no, I'm saying like Kaylee had the same boyfriend since she was like 15, right? So I could see at 21 and her and Jack are broken up and she's like, hell yeah, I'm gonna make two Tinders. Why not? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's just kind of how I was looking at it. And, back in the day when all these Tinder warrants were going out and people were speculating like crazy, like these girls were doing OnlyFans and blah, blah, blah. And this is how they were meeting, they were escorting or sugar babies or whatever the case may be. And they were using their Tinder accounts to do it, right? That was the speculation for a long time, still is sometimes, right? So I'm looking at it where, like, okay, if she's been with the same dude since she was like 15 and now they're broken up and she's 21, I mean, fuck yeah, have as many dating app accounts as you want. Like you're single. But Maddie had a boyfriend. So I will say, like, good girl. It would appear, as far as Tinder goes, she's being loyal to her boyfriend. And good for her. I, I can see both sides. I'm very open-minded, Lucy. You know this, right brain. Pretty open-minded here. So I could definitely see why, like, a 21-year-old girl who's been with the same person since she was a teenager, first boyfriend, high school sweetheart, or whatever. And she's like, you know what? Actually, I think I just want to, like, maybe her Tinder, like, one was for guys and one was for girls. And I'm not saying that to be disrespectful, but I'm just throwing that out there, right? If she is someone who is experimenting, which a lot of these kids at this age do, that's what they're kind of experimenting with. It's they're trying to figure out like their identity and stuff and their preferences. And I would not be surprised if the reason she has two Tinder accounts is because one is for guys and one is for girls. And that is just purely my opinion and my speculation. And I am not saying that to in any way, shape, or form put her down because it's not a put down. It's not a put down. I'm just looking at it as someone who happens to know people who do have two Tinder accounts, and that's why they have two of them. Because one is for meeting girls and one is for meeting guys, because the person I'm speaking about is bi. So the person that I know that has two Tinder accounts, the reason they have two is because they are bi. And they use one to meet women and they use one to meet men. So just throwing that out there. No facts here. I don't know shit. Just giving my opinion based on life experience and some people that I know. You know what I mean? So hopefully you understand where I'm coming from on that. So, I mean, I'm totally like, it's fine, even if she was exploring that part of her life. Like, okay, totally, nothing wrong with it whatsoever. You know what I mean? Nothing wrong with it at all. But I'm of the opinion the reason she had two was for that. But that's just my opinion. And, I'm entitled to it. So, and if I'm wrong, okay, then I'm wrong. And I have no problem with being wrong. So let's get to number 66. This is going to be supplemental report number 66, Tyson Barrett on 12/12. So this is right around the date that they started swirling Koberger's name around, right? Right around that day when the property's being returned and all of that. This is when they started swirling his name around to the family. Let's see. Gonsalves property release. On December 12th, 2022, at about 8:30, I met with the Gonsalveses redacted SG at the city shop. I'm assuming that's Shannon Gray. I had previously arranged to release Kaylee Gonsalves' personal property, 2G, at the family's request. Yeah, it's going to be Gray. I unlocked the secure evidence building and we moved 22 boxes containing Kaylee's personal items that had been removed from the 1122 King Road. How did she have 22 boxes of items still there if she didn't live there anymore? I don't understand. It's a brain worm. It's just one big brain worm. How did she still have 22 boxes containing personal items if she had moved out? If all she had there was like her bed and a few other things, according to her parents, like she still had 22 boxes of shit? Enough that, okay, we'll get into it. He had to make 2 trips. Holy shit. I unlocked the secure evidence building and we moved 22 boxes containing Kaylee's personal items that had been removed from 1122 King Road into Gray's vehicle. There wasn't enough room in the vehicle for all the items, so Gray made a return trip. At that point, we loaded the remaining items, which were 2 purple totes, a clear plastic tote, and a yellow suitcase. Oh, well, we all know what that suitcase. Y'all remember me with that suitcase. Gray signed for the items, and Officer Rosinski took a photo of his ID to attach it to the form at a later date. I secured the evidence storage building and cleared. Later that morning, I scanned the form and emailed it to Gray. I provided MPD records with the original property release form. It's crazy. So she still had enough stuff in that room that it filled 22 boxes containing personal items, and then he had to come back and get 2 more, plus a clear plastic tote and a yellow suitcase. That's wild, man. For somebody who moved out, she had been moved out for a couple of weeks. Isn't that what her parents said? She only had like just a couple of things still there, allegedly. Okay. Okay. Stop sharing that. That was number 66. Let's go to number 67 here. Really is just, it's just brain worms. P Fox, hello. I just saw you out of the corner of my eye. Hello, everyone in chat. Thank you for being here. Sorry, I'm trying to like watch chat on my phone, but I'm also looking at my computer. So happy Friday, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you're having a good night. Number 67. Oopsie. I got a little small. P Fox, I want to say something, but I'm not going to. Okay. Well, don't worry, darling. Go ahead and say something. Dan Smith, hello. Who else am I missing? Tracy McDaniel, hello. David Bird, always good to see you. Sorry if I'm missing anybody else. Thanks for being here, guys. I hope you're having a great Friday night. Taka, hello. All right. So what do we have here? This is Supplemental Report number 67. Lawrence Mowry, December 12th. This is the DoorDash warrant. On December 6, 2022, I applied for and was granted a warrant for all of the information in DoorDash's possession related to the sales, deliveries, purchases, and/or transactions made to 1122 King Road for the period of January 1st, 2022 to present. On December 6th. Okay, so he wanted all of the DoorDash right up through December 6th, huh? That's interesting. I mean, he does realize after November 13th, nobody should be getting a DoorDash there, right? Does he realize that, you think? right? Isn't that interesting that his DoorDash warrant goes until present, which is December 6th, the day that he applied for it. Crime occurred November 13th. So why do you want to know who's still getting deliveries to an address up until December 6th when it's been a crime scene since November 13th, right? Wouldn't it be the only people getting DoorDash to that house after November 13th is going to be law enforcement? No, right? January 1st to present, which is December 6th. So approximately 3 weeks after the crime. Okay. In my best Little John voice, okay, whatever you say, Mal. On December 7th, 2022, I received an email from DoorDash containing the data requested pursuant to the warrant. The files were downloaded to the forensic computers located in the secure forensic computer lab at the Moscow Police Department. Completed the warrant return receipt and affidavit. Documents were sent to the Latah County Prosecutor's Office. Returned to the court. Blah, blah, blah. That was number 67. Number 68. Right, number 68. Supplemental report number 68. Another one from Maori on December 12th. Okay, this is the Uber location request. On November 18th, 2022, I logged into the Uber law enforcement portal and submitted an exigent preservation request for any location data associated with the Uber driver named Eric Gower, whatever the fuck his name is, with the phone number of redacted. Due to the nature of the investigation, Uber recommended an exigency request for the preservation. In a screenshot, this is what I was talking about, in a screenshot received from AG, it showed messages which appear to be from Grower's phone between Kaylee and himself. So if you can access the shit in her phone, why are you only sending screenshots? Just give them everything. No. You could see all of her messages. If you could see the messages between her and Grower, then you could probably see all of them. So why not just cop them all up? Why is it the PIN you're providing the police, the PIN isn't working? Why is her shit so encrypted and locked like Jason fucking Bourne's shit? You know what I mean? Just saying. Not everybody here. This girl shit is encrypted. It's locked down. It's fucking password. But I'm surprised this shit wasn't biometric protected. You needed her damn iris scan or something to get into this shit. It's wild. It's wild. You would have thought she was Jason Bourne. You know what I mean? What the fuck? What do I know? I don't know shit. You know, it's just brainworms. Associated with the Uber driver Eric Grower, with the phone number blank. Due to the nature of the investigation, Uber recommended the exigency request. In a screenshot received from AG, it showed messages which appear to be from Grower's phone between Kaylee and himself. So the screenshots she's sending there are messages that appear to be from Grower's phone. Okay. The name of the recipient is Kaylee Uber. It is unknown if Grower was on duty with Uber at the time of him picking up Gonsalves and Mogan. Uber stated if the driver was on duty, it would show the location of the vehicle. You're damn right it would. If the Uber driver was not on duty, Uber would not have the data. I was informed by Uber customer service this is common if the driver provides personal transportation services. Okay. At 14:34, I received an email from Uber stating they received my request. I received an email at approximately 16:17 hours from Uber, which contained files regarding the Uber logs of Eric Gower. The record showed his location up until approximately 1:15, where it appears no other information is found and he goes off duty. So At 1:15, Gower is done Ubering. By 1:45, so within 30 minutes of this, he's picking up Kaylee and Maddie. And then less than 10 minutes after he drops them off, Dylan is texting him to ask him if he's still out driving. Okay, that was number 68. Wow. Just. All right, so this one that we're about to get into is Danny Vargas's interview with Maisie Chapin. I'm going to bring it up on the screen for you. And then anyone, if you need to grab a drink or use the bathroom or anything, do that because that's exactly what I'm going to do. And then when we come back, we're going to get into this one. It's 3 pages, so you know what? Take a minute, go pee, do what you got to do. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go use the restroom and grab a drink, and I'll be right back. Don't take off, okay? Hang around, chat amongst yourselves. I'll be right back. All right, all right. So sorry, so sorry. Okay, got my drink, had to pee. Hope everybody else did the same. Look at that. We were at like 80 people and a whole bunch of them dipped out all because I went to pee. God forbid you got to mute for a minute. You know what I mean? God forbid you got to pee or mute and they lose interest so quickly. All right. So, anyways, which one are we looking at here? Let's see. Number 69. All right. So, we are going to this supplemental report number 9, Danny Vargas on 12/13 is when this was typed up. It says on December 1st, Corporal Payne asked if I would assist with interviewing redacted members of Ethan Chapin at the Latah County Annex building. I arrived and spoke with MC, Ethan's redacted. I think we can figure that out. It's Maisie Chapin, Ethan's sister. I introduced myself to Maisie and told her I would be recording our conversation so I would not miss anything she said. Maisie had filled out an adult victim background questionnaire, which I reviewed before speaking with Maisie. Maisie listed Ethan as being easygoing, positive, friendly, funny, and stated he did not have any negative issues or negative feelings with anyone. Maisie listed the following people as being people whom Ethan spent the most time with: Xana, KF, PE, HC, Hunter Chapin brother, HJ, and EA. Maisie told me the following about the people that Ethan was closest to. Xana. Ethan and Xana have been dating for about 1 year and met through school. Maisie has known Xana for 1 year and met her through Ethan. Maisie talked with Xana once during Rush, but never hung out with her until Xana started dating Ethan. She partied with Xana, but never hung out with her outside of that. Xana was a junior, had a lot of friends, and knew most of campus. Maisie met Xana's dad briefly during Parents' Weekend and never met Xana's sister, and never heard anything factual about Xana's mom, but knew Xana did not have contact with her. Ethan would often spend time with Xana while she was at work at the Mad Greek. Ethan and Xana never mentioned having weird feelings about anyone, customers, or employees at the Mad Greek. Ethan never said anything negative about his relationship with Xana to Maisie. PE. P is a blank and in the blank fraternity. Maisie does not know much about P. Maisie thought P was a farmer and from California, but she wasn't sure. Ethan would spend a lot of time with P and they met through the fraternity. Ethan and P were very similar and would often watch football together on Sundays. P lives at blank. Ethan would hang out with P 3, 4, or 5 days out of the week. When Ethan would be with P, they would spend time at Xana's residence, P's residence, and several apartments at the Whites. EA and JL apartment on the second floor left side. EA, Emily, Alan, and Josie. I think that's Josie, right? I think it was Emily and Josie who lived together. I could be wrong. The redacted apartment at the Whites. CATR, Ethan's redacted, and H, unknown last name, top floor on the right. Okay. KF was one of Ethan's closest friends. K lives in redacted at redacted. Maisie stated K and P were Ethan's closest friends. Maisie did not see any drug use amongst any of Ethan and his friends, but said they drank a lot, which is normal for fraternity life. Okay, well, sidebar here. We have other people saying that if anybody's doing cocaine in this house, it's Kaylee and Xana for sure. And the police found a rolled up $2 bill and blue powder drugs on the desk in Ethan and Xana's room. So, I mean, I'm not trying to knock them, like whatever. They're college kids, not all of them, but many of them experiment with drugs in college. So it's not a knock at them. It's just, it's really interesting that Maisie is saying, no, I don't know nothing about any drugs. All I know is they drink. I mean, Maisie, really? HJ. HJ is dating EA and was the person who B&D called to come to their house the morning of the homicide. Ethan golfed a lot with Johnson, and Johnson and Emily came to their house over the past summer several times and hung out. So Hunter and Emily has been to the Chapin's house over the summer several times to hang out, and they golf together a lot. Ethan never had any issues with Johnson. Well, I mean, Hunter said Ethan owed him money. And he said this shit at the damn memorial. He still owes me 40 bucks or whatever, right? Made some comment about Ethan still owing him money or something like that. Let me check chat. I'm going to check it from my phone so I don't have to. Oh, well, Vonda, hello. How are you? Good to see you. Who else is here? Kane B. What up, Kane? Good to see you, sir. I expected it was a Friday night that you would be working. Good to see you. Justice, hello. Mittens for Kittens, hello. Kelly, hello. Welcome on in, everybody. Hope you're having a good Friday. Ethan never had any issues with Johnson. Okay. Maisie never heard of or observed Ethan get into fights with anyone. Oh, really? Okay. Ethan never confided in her about having problems or frustrations with anyone. Ethan never mentioned having any issues with any of the girls who lived with Xana. Maisie spent time at Xana's house and never observed any issues between any of the roommates. Maisie said she did not know Maddie or Kaylee well and said she knew Bethany and Dylan better. Maisie thought if Ethan did have anything he needed to talk to someone about, he would most likely speak with their blank, H, or Xana because he saw them daily. Speak with their brother, Hunter, or Xana because he saw them daily. Maisie said Ethan was an open book and was not a private person. I asked Maisie if she knew what Ethan did on Friday and Saturday, November 11th or 12th. Maisie said she was not sure what Ethan did on Friday. Maisie said on Saturday, Ethan did not go to the football game or tailgate and thought he spent that time at the Whites, possibly at J and E's apartment. Maisie said in the evening, Ethan went with her to her formal event, which was at the Hunga Dunga, from 1900 to 2,000 hours to 2,000 hours. So, 19, what's that? 7 to 8. He was only there for an hour. Maisie said they drove to Hunga Dunga in their vehicle with Ethan, HC with his date, RS, DM, and his date, HB, and JK and his date, RB. Okay. DM and his date. Okay, so that's not Dylan. So there's a DM with his date. We have Hunter Chapin with his date, RS. There's a DM and his date, HB. And then we have a JK and his date, RB. I think JK is Jack Katovich, but I'm not sure. And his date, RB. Maisie said D and J are both blank members. I'm assuming fraternity. Maisie said Hunga Dunga was rented in her sorority by her sorority, and this was a private event. Maisie told me she knew the majority of everyone who was at Hunga Dunga, and nothing out of the ordinary occurred while they were there. Maisie said they all left Hunga Dunga in the same car and drove to her sorority, where the girls, including her, got out, went inside and changed clothes. Maisie said R, H, and R all got back into the car and left with Ethan. Left with Ethan, H, D, and J to go to a party at blank. Go to a party at blank. Maisie said she texted Ethan at approximately 2014 telling him she did not want to go with them to blank and was going to stay at her sorority. Maisie said Ethan texted her several times trying to convince her to come to blank, but she did not go and eventually fell asleep around 2,200 hours. Maisie said the blank party was just a normal Saturday evening party. I asked Maisie if she saw any weird comments on Ethan's social media. Maisie said she recently logged in to Ethan's Instagram account and made it private because it was public and a lot of random people were making bad comments on it. Maisie said people were speculating this was a drug-related thing or something to do with the girls. Maisie told me she did not notice the names of the people who were commenting, but said they were weird accounts with just one follower. Maisie said people were making bad comments on all of the other victims' accounts as well. I asked Maisie if the girls had any bad feelings with any of their neighbors. Maisie said she did not think so. Maisie told me she was at Xana's house a lot of the weekends and said they would often get noise complaints. Maisie said she was present for 2 of the noise complaints. Maisie thought the person making the complaint lived in a house behind 1122 King, but was not certain. Maisie told me she never witnessed any retaliation from any of the neighbors. I asked Maisie if Xana and her roommates knew everyone who lived around them. She said she did not know. I thanked Maisie for speaking with me and told her if she thought of anything else to let us know. My conversation with Maisie was recorded and copied to DVD, which I booked into evidence. So, her and the girls stay at the sorority house. She says, no, I'm not coming, even though he is trying repeatedly to get her to go. But he leaves with H, D, and J. So he leaves with Hunter, I believe his brother Hunter, not Hunter Johnson, whoever this DM person was with their date, because DM is a guy. So we have Hunter, his brother, D, a guy, and then J, who I believe is Jack Hadovich, to go to a party. So it's all four of these boys together. In whose car? Because they drove, says they left Hunga Dunga in the same car. Whose car did they take? Where does it say that? Maisie said in the evening went with her to her formal event, which was at Hunga Dunga. They drove to the Hunga Dunga in their vehicle with Ethan. So their vehicle. That's going to be your Explorer, I believe, with Ethan. So they're in one of the Chapin's vehicles, huh? To go back to whatever party. Maybe this is why, isn't this, okay, I know that this is gonna, now this makes sense, as we'll see further in these documents. Now this is making sense to me, because I was saying, why are they only taking Ethan's and Maddie's things out of the cars, right? It's only Ethan and Maddie's that they take. The Jeep, the Explorer, and the Chevy Cruze. Interesting. Okay. Just another brainworm. All right, so that was number 69. Let's close that one out. See if we can actually get up to 100 tonight, friends. I'm going to roll right into number 70 here. Make that bigger. Share. Number 70. All right, supplemental report number 70 from Lawrence Mowry. On December 13th, this is right around the day they're starting to swirl Brian Koberger's name around. Let's see, November 21st, 2022, I applied for and was granted a warrant to Walmart for related sales of the following items for the period of January 1st, 2022 to present. So to November 21st. So he wanted all K-Bar knives sold from January 1st, 2022 to November 21st, 2022. K-Bar and the sheath. On November 28th at approximately 13:16, the warrant was served. Let's see, forensic account MD with the FBI assisted in the production. Of course they did. On December 8th, 2022, I received a packet from Walmart containing paper documents and 2 DVDs with the sales data on them from the local Walmart in Moscow. Local Walmart in Moscow. The local Walmart in Moscow, isn't that the same Walmart that Kaylee allegedly reported who she thought was a missing female or something? Was that the same Walmart? I think it is. These files were downloaded to the forensic computers located at the Secure Computer Forensics Lab at the Moscow Police Department. On December 9th, I received notice from FA, Forensic Accountant MD, with the FBI. The data requested pursuant to the warrant was received. Data files were downloaded, blah, blah, blah. A warrant Return receipt and affidavit was completed. These documents were sent to the Latah County Prosecutor's Office to be returned to the court. I also emailed a copy of the receipt to Tinder, as this was the originating email address associated with the documents. What? Tinder, redacted at Walmart Legal. Emailed a copy of the receipt to Tinder, redacted at Walmart Legal. What? Fucking idiot. What an idiot. It's what happens when you cheat off other people's papers and you just copy, cut, paste, right? That's why you should never be a cheater. You should never steal other people's. You don't want to copy off other people's papers, especially when you just copy, cut, and paste, right? Because then dumb shit like this occurs, right? So your Walmart warrant return, you sent to Tinder, huh? You emailed a copy of the receipt to Tinder. Tinder at Walmart Legal. Okay. Jesus. What an absolute fucking dumpster fire. All right. That was number 70. Let's stop sharing that one. Tinder. Mingya. Can't even believe this. Okay. Going into supplemental report number 71. I think we can do it. I think we can get to 100 tonight. I'm already at like, I don't know, 150 or something on my own, but I wanted to at least get to like 100 tonight. All right, so we're looking at supplemental report number 71. Tyson Barrett, 12/13. Same day they started swirling Brian Koberger's name around. This is for the University of Idaho. Oh, okay. Civil rights. Holy shit. Now I understand the Office of Civil Rights Investigations, why the FBI, Alex Stinton, or whatever the fuck her name is, Alex whatever, wanted all of it. Here we go. For the love. On December 12th, 2022, ISP Detective Lake asked me to request information from University of Idaho, OCRI, regarding a rape involving University of Idaho students that was reported in 2021. I emailed the request to KN with the U of I Office of General Counsel. On December 13th, 2022, I received a from, it doesn't say what, I received a what from LE at the U of I OCRI indicating she had the information I requested. I met with E in her office about 12:15 and provided her with a USB flash memory drive. E, she, the information to the drive and gave it to me. E, she, like, it must be something in the water or something. She had the information I requested. I met with E in her office at about 12:15 and provided her with a USB. E, she, the information to the drive and gave it to me. There's words missing. On December 13th, 2022 at about 12:30, I returned to the police department and gave the flash memory drive to MT with the FBI. Okay, so apparently someone in this case, because I have no idea why else they would be requesting it, unless it had to do with someone in this case. Um, something about a rape, regarding a rape that involved University of Idaho students that was reported in 2021. 2021. Interesting. And whatever it is, it's related to this case and these victims, which is why they're looking for it. So that's interesting. All right. That was number 71. Let's go take a little look at number 72. Oh, would you look at that? We got one from Brett Payne. All right. Okay, supplemental report number 72, Brett Payne, December 13th. They got a lot done on December 13th, huh? This is when they were swirling his name around. It's everything they got done on the 13th. Interview of BJ from K-Bar. Interview with BJ. On December 2nd, 2022, the FBI tip line received a call from K-Bar employee MD referencing an LM. M had been contacted earlier on December 1st, 2022 by ISP detectives Boone and Barrett due to his name being provided by K-Bar on a list of people who had placed orders from K-Bar. D stated a call taker, BJ, from K-Bar had received a strange phone call from M on December 1st, 2022. Provided a written statement about what the conversation entailed. J stated she answered the call with the normal greetings directed by K-Bar. M interjected when she asked about his concerns about the call and stated, quote, "We will get back to that later," end quote. J went on to tell M why the order was canceled. M stated he understood and never put his phone number on orders to prevent phone solicitation. So apparently they wanted to call this guy about why his order was canceled. He's saying, I understand because I didn't give you my phone number and I don't put my phone number on my orders because I don't want phone solicitation. M then abruptly asked, quote, "What can you tell me about the two feds that showed up at my door today, questioning my recent K-Bar order?" End quote. Two feds showing up at your door, buddy. You sound just like Gabby Vargas. This is another damn Gabriella Vargas happening right here. Feds just showing up at the door, huh? Well, hot damn. Quote, "What can you tell me about the two feds that showed up at my door today, questioning my recent K-Bar order?" Jay stated she did not know what M was talking about, as she had no knowledge of the investigation. M then stated something to the effect of, quote, "You know a K-Bar sheet was left at the scene," end quote. Well, sidebar, M, how would you know that on December 1st? Sir, right? How would you even know that? Jay stated she did not know anything about the situation and asked M if he wanted to complete his order. M stated he was, quote, "a collector and had enough for now," end quote. He also added he, quote, "better hold off until things die down a little," end quote. M then ended the phone call. I spoke with Detective Boone and Barrett on December 2nd, 2022, and asked them if they mentioned the knife sheath. Both detectives stated they did not mention anything about the sheath and that the conversation with M was very routine. They did not record this conversation. Well, of course you didn't. We're lucky we got a report. We're lucky we got a report. Record the conversation. Fucking hey, you're lucky you got a report, bro. You're lucky you got a report. I called Jay back on 12/13. Same day they're swirling Brian's name around. Called Jay back on 12/13 and asked her to tell me about the call with M. Jay reiterated the contents of her statement. However, she stated M told her, quote, A K-bar sheath was left at the scene, end quote, and added, M told her that one of the investigators told her that. One of the investigators told them that. The investigation into M continues. I, I I would bet $100 right now there was no further investigation into M here. Just, I mean, maybe there was. I don't know. I'm just being an asshole. But pretty funny, huh? So on December 1st, this M person is telling the people at K Bar, hey, why'd you give up my information? Because these two feds were banging at my door wanting to know about my recent purchase, which means they found that out from you. This is why I don't give you my phone number either, right? That's literally what this guy is saying. This guy's pissed that he has now found out that K Bar has given up information about purchases. And he is pissed that these feds have showed up at his door. You know what I mean? Furthermore, he's saying that these officers, these detectives told him a fucking sheath was left at the scene. And the officers are saying, no, we didn't. We didn't tell him anything like that. And we can't back what we're telling you because we didn't record the conversation. We can't even back ourselves that we didn't tell this person this because we didn't bother to record the conversation. Had they bothered to record the conversation, it would be easily verifiable that these officers and detectives did not tell this person about a sheath being left at the scene. Easily verifiable. And then you would know that this person has information pertaining to this crime that they shouldn't have. Right? Just saying. Just saying. Okay, so which one was this again? This was number 72. Supplemental report number 72, Corporal Brett Payne. Okay. All right, next one. Number 73, also from Corporal Brett Payne. All right, supplemental report number 73, Brett Payne, 12/13. Again, all of this is being done on the same day they're swirling Brian Koberger's name around. Search warrant for blank Queen Road. This one's good. Oh, maybe this isn't it. Hang on. This is the shorter version one, I believe. No, it's not. This is the good one. All right, buckle up, friends. You probably, I mean, everybody already knows this. It's already all over the internet. Showalter's apartment is fucking full of blood. It's full of blood. There's blood everywhere. Over 90 fucking samples of blood collected out of this kid's place right there on Queen Road. I mean, look, Showalter, if it's not you, buddy, I'm sorry, but I'm almost positive the JS they're referring to here at Queen Road is Showalter because in another document, same thing. It's the same thing, and it's referenced as this is the person's apartment who was with the girls that night at the grub truck, right? So, you know, it is what it is. And Showalter so you have an apartment right there on Queen Road, and you drove to Boise at like 4 in the morning, 4 or 5 in the morning, you drove to Boise, even though you have an apartment right there. And that apartment had over 90 samples of blood collected out of it. Know what I mean? I have lived where I live for almost a decade, 10 straight years, and I promise you, you are not going to find 94 random dried blood samples in my home. It's not going to happen. It's not in the drain. It's not on a doorknob. It's not anywhere. Do any of you have possibly 90 plus blood spots or spatter in your home that are just chilling? No? I mean, I don't know about any of you, but I don't. I don't. And I've been in the same place for almost a decade. Literally 9 years, and I don't have 90 fucking drops of blood, dried old blood hanging around. I'm sorry, I just don't. I mean, I don't know about any of you, but I don't. So, anyways, let's get into it. Supplemental report number 73, Brett Payne, December 13th, search warrant for redacted Queen Road. Item 261, blood swab, 262, blood swab, 263, blood swab, 264, blood swab. On November 23rd, 10 days after the crime, I applied for and was granted search warrant for redacted Queen Road, the residence of J.S. The warrant was based off the following information. Officer House and I responded to redacted Queen Road at approximately 10 o'clock on November 15th, 2022, 2 days after the crime. We walked on the common walkway in front of the door to S. It has to be Showalter's because it starts with an S and it's a pretty long name, so I'm sticking with Showalter. We walked on the common walkway in front of the door to Showalter's apartment and observed the exterior of the door. The area around the door had numerous spots of dried fluid which appeared to be rust drops from a metal roof above the apartment's door. These drops were mainly on the wall next to the door frame, not on the frame itself. I observed what appeared to be a different fluid spot on the door, approximately 8 inches up from the bottom of the door under the knob. I also noticed the deadbolt plating was clean, polished silver, and had no dirt on it. I walked away from the door in order to conduct an interview on a possible witness. Which one? Who? Is there a report for that? Officer House and several members of the ISP Forensics Unit, to include Detective Hugh Powell, walked back to redacted Queen Road. I met back up with Officer House and Detective Powell a short time later, and they told me they believed the spot of dried fluid on the door displayed similar characteristics to that of dried blood. Namely, Detective Powell stated the spot displayed a cracking texture, common when blood dries on a surface. The spot also displayed a similar drop pattern to the blood spots found on the banister wall and the wall on the stairwell to the ground floor, which I observed inside 1122 King Road. Do you mean the blood that was never tested? Dear God, I hope that's not what you mean. For the love of all that is holy and sacred in this world, I hope that's not the blood he means. Right? Literally. I'm praying with my whole entire body, spirit, soul right now. Excuse the fuck out of me. What did you just say? The spot also displayed a similar drop pattern to the blood spots found on the banister wall and the wall on the stairwell to the ground floor, which I observed inside 1122 King. Oh my God. It's the blood that was never subjected to CODIS or IgG. Oh, displayed a similar drop pattern to the blood spots found on the banister wall and the wall on the stairwell to the ground floor. Oh my God, who wrote this? Is this Brett Payne who wrote this? It's Brett Payne. Officer House also told me he looked at several other doorknobs and deadbolt plates on doors in the same apartment complex, all of which had a fine layer of dust. Oh, so the rest of them are all dusty and dirty, huh? This one's polished, fucking sparkly clean. like the red flags that nobody, oh my God, I'm not even, I've never been in law enforcement. I'm not a detective. And like, you've got to be shooting me. So you noticed that it's only this one deadbolt that is polished. It's shiny. It's sparkly. The blood looks exactly like the blood you observed in the fucking crime scene. Oh my God. But all the rest of the locks are dirty and dusty. And I mean, like, oh my God, 1+1 is 2, bro. 1+1 is 2, Payne. It's not 4 or 5 or 7. 1+1 is 2. For fuck's sake. I returned to Moscow Police Department and was notified by Detective Vargas, who was reviewing security camera footage provided by the owners of redacted Linda Lane, of possible footage of someone walking by the cameras at 3:50 on 11/13. I watched the film with Detective Vargas. The cameras show the parking lot of redacted Linda Lane, which is situated directly south of Queen Road. The frame captures a portion of the Queen Road parking lot in front of redacted, but does not capture the apartments themselves. The area of redacted Queen Road is also much darker than Linda Lane. The video is infrared and is thusly displayed in black and white. Really? Is that what infrared means? Okay. It means black and white. At approximately 3:50 on 11/13 per the timestamp on the video. Oh, well, would you look at this? Look at what he says here. A figure clad in dark clothing. Oh, I bet you he wanted to write in black. I bet you he did. I really bet you he wanted to write. He really wanted to write clad in black. But he probably thought to himself, like, nah, I can't put it twice. That'll look too obvious. That'll look too weird if I put it twice. So let me put clad in dark clothing instead. But you know he wanted to write clad in black. 1,000,000%. So yeah, at approximately 3:50 on November 13th, per the stamp on the video, a figure clad in dark clothing can be seen walking from the building which houses blank Queen Road, blank. Okay. Must be like 500 Queen Road, apartment number, whatever. The figure walks to the west of the parking lot and leaves the frame of the video as the figure enters the sidewalk area between the 2 other apartment buildings at blank Queen Road. Yeah, it's 500. The terminus of this sidewalk is immediately east of 1122 King. The figure is not captured by the cameras any further. Based off the information above, MPD and ISP officers served a search warrant on the exterior of the front door to redacted Queen Road. Access to the residence per this search warrant was granted only if a presumptive positive test for blood was found on the exterior door. Nothing was found during the search and the warrant was returned. On November 23rd, 2022, MPD Officer Morris was contacted by JS, a maintenance worker for redacted, which manages blank Queen Road. What? So the apartment's for JS, but it's also JS contacting them, and he's a maintenance worker, which manages Queen Road. This person with the S name, it's a much shorter name here, just so we can see, okay? So the other one way at the top, the S up top, whose apartment it is, it's a much longer name. Okay, that's redacted. S told Officer Morris he conducted a routine maintenance order on redacted Queen Road on November 22nd, 2022, wherein he discovered something of note. I had Officer Morris call S and place him on speakerphone so I could talk to him. I asked S to tell me what he found. S told me he and another maintenance worker entered the apartment on November 22nd. Interesting. Not only is it the number of the house, 1122, it's the same date that they're transferring the sheath and the sheath profile to Othram, right? Does anybody else just feel like the numerology in this case is off the fucking charts? And I'm not even into numerology or gematria or any of that. I mean, I know what it is, but like, I'm not into it. But the numerology in this case is just, it's insane. Entered the apartment at 11:22. November 22nd. In order to check on a water quality complaint made by the tenant. Made by the tenant. Water quality complaint made by the tenant. Well, I mean, the tenant was in Boise until the 28th, right? Like, I'm almost positive this is Showalter, and if it's not Showalter, I'm sorry. Okay, Showalter, if it's not you, I'm sorry. Don't fucking sue me, bro. It looks like the name Showalter. It's a pretty long name that's redacted. They reference you earlier, claiming you're the person who was with the girls at the grub truck. I mean, so, you know, if it's not you, Showalter, my bad, homie. All I know is that it couldn't have been a quality complaint by the tenant because the tenant isn't even there on this date. He tells officers he's not going to be back until the 28th. He's in Boise until the 28th. And they try to speak to him. So, I mean, I don't know shit, friends. You're just getting my brain worms. That's all it is. Both men checked the kitchen and did not notice any issues. S said he entered the only bathroom in the residence and began to inspect the drain when the other maintenance worker advised there appeared to be blood on the shower curtain. Blood on the shower curtain. Oh shit. Blood on the shower curtain. S said he looked and discovered what appeared to be two separate smudge marks on the shower curtain, which appeared to be dried blood. S described the smudges as, quote, 1 inch by 1 inch. S said he then noticed another smudge of what appeared to be dried blood on the toilet flusher handle. S added there appeared to be, quote, spatter of dried blood near the light switch on the interior wall of the bathroom. Right, because when you're running in covered in blood and you got to hurry up and run in and shower and you got to flip on the light switch and your hand is covered in blood, that shit's going to fucking spatter on the wall. Just saying. I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. It's just what, you know, the brain worm. It's just what my brain pictures in my head because I have brain worms. I asked S to describe the marks. He told me they appeared to be reddish. Oopsie, lost my place. There it is. Told me they appeared to be reddish brown in color. S added, quote, I've seen dried blood before, end quote, and the marks appeared to be similar to that. S added the only thing he did in the restroom was flush the toilet in order to check the water quality. S said the toilet appeared clean but became clogged when he flushed it, probably because someone stuffed a fucking K-bar down it. It's just, I'm just throwing it out there. Did someone try to flush a knife? Did someone try to flush a weapon? Okay. For the love. Did you rip apart the toilet? Did you pull the septic? Did you rip out the pipes? I mean, like, come on, bro. There's blood everywhere. The maintenance guy's telling you when I tried to flush the toilet, it clogged. There's blood all over everything. It's splattered on the fucking wall. Rip the pipes out of the fucking ground if that's what you need to do. Get the septic. I don't care. Are we kidding? Are we kidding? Are we kidding? The toilet became clogged. I bet it did. I bet it did, sir. S said he and his counterpart then left the apartment. I asked S if anyone else had reason or means to access the apartment besides he or Showalter between the time he left and the current time. S said no. I served the search warrant with ISP investigators Jeff Talbot, Hugh Powell, and Jake Schwecke. We discovered the blood smears and spots in the locations as described. In addition, there were more blood spatter spots on the wall on the entryway into the living room. So there is blood spatter spots on the wall on the entryway to the living room. Samples of each were collected, 94 in total. I don't have 94. I don't have 94 blood spots in my house. I just don't. I just don't. Not even by accident. Not even because I maybe missed a spot. None of the sort. And I've been in the same place for 10 years. 10 years. You will not find a spot of blood up in her. Just saying. Dried on the walls. Really? Spatter. Blood spatter on the walls. Did they bother to test it? Do we even know if any of this blood was tested? Or was it ignored because it matched the spatter? It looked just like the blood drops inside the King Road home. Oddly enough, a coincidence, you know. And Payne even says that. Well, yeah, actually, now that you mention it, yeah, these blood drops look just like the ones I saw inside the King Road home on the banister on the wall. Really, look just like it. Huh? Did you test them? Were any of these 94 in total? Is that what it said? 94 in total. Were any of them tested? Any of them at all? Even just one? Did we determine whether or not this was all of Showalter's blood or whose ever apartment this is? Was it all their own blood? Whose blood is it? I'd bet $1,000. They, till this day, don't know. I would bet $1,000 no one knows until this very day exactly what that is. That's just my opinion. Search warrant was returned on 12/4. Talbot took photos of the residence. Samples were collected, 94 in total, and Talbot took photos of the residence. Upon completion, I left the required paperwork on the couch in the living room, and Detective Talbot took a photo of it. Yeah, because he wasn't there. They served the search warrant while he was gone, and they left the required paperwork on the couch in the living room. Shit me. Or spots of blood, including spatter. Bro, did Cy Ray ever get to look at these photos? You know, that's Cy Ray's like side, forte there. It's kind of his little side geeking out hobby. Is the blood spatter, right? That's the shit he geeks out on. He really likes to look at that stuff. So I'm literally praying to the sweet baby Jesus. Cy Ray got to take a look at all of this blood spatter everywhere at King Road, in this apartment, on Queen Road, right? Um, blood spatter all over the place, including droplets similar to what was seen at King Road. So I really hope Cy got to take a little peeky poo at all of these little droplets and spatters and photos of all of this stuff. One can hope, I'll just cross my little fingers and toes that he did look at all of this. Please, Lord. All right, so that was supplemental report number 73, Brett Payne, December 13th. Search warrant for what I believe to be the residence of JS, and I think they're referring to Jack Showalter, but if I'm wrong, okay, cool, my bad. Stop sharing. This is insane. Absolutely insane. Let me come over to chat. What the hell? Do you guys think about that? Oh, well, look at that. There's 114 people here now. Hello, everybody. Hello, welcome on in. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being here. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. We got here. Is that the blood that got trashed when the fucking fridge hit the bed? Report 309. Probably, darling. Probably. Yeah, you're probably right now that you say that. Chipmunk feet. Hello. Kara. Hello. Donna. Hello. King B. Yeah, I know, right? All right. Talk about an alternative suspect. No shit, Willie, right? My God. The science lab refrigerator went out, failed. All blood samples were spoiled. Of course they were, darling. Of course they were. Of course they were. Of course they were. Oh, but Hitler said he gave his DNA. Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying, Heather. That's why I hope they let him look at it. Dear God. This is a damn dumpster fire, you know? Chipmunk feet. It is a cute name, isn't it? Kara? Isn't that just the cutest name? Boston. Where's Boston? Did I miss Boston? No, impossible. Oh my goodness, there you are. Boston, my queen, hello. Dan Smith, hello. Christine, Wade Bird, hello. Meg P, this case is effed up. It's brainworms. It's nothing but brainworms. That's all it is. Who shows that in their video and called delusional? Shows what in their video and called delusional? Oh, Rolo, you showed what in your video? You showed Jack Showalter's apartment covered in blood? Is that what you showed? I didn't see that video, homie. So if you put out a video showing Jack Showalter's apartment covered in blood, you can go ahead and send it to me. I'll take a peeky poo at it. But I don't remember ever seeing such a thing. Okay, Rolo. Happy Friday to you, Rolo. But I just don't remember ever seeing anything about a video that you put out that's Jack Showalter's apartment covered in blood. But just saying. If it's there, let me know, homie. I'll go take a peek at it. It's actually two people. One is Dylan, and they exited an apartment directly across from 1330 camera. Oh, okay. Well, what do you mean, though? What are you saying that you're showing in your video that people called you? I'm not saying you're delusional at all. I didn't say you were delusional about anything. I don't believe that people are seeing dead bodies being dragged across Linda Lane, if that's what you mean. That is straight delusional. But okay, you know, it's not a knock at you. I'm just saying I thought you were talking about the bloody apartment. That's what we're on here. That's the topic we're on here. Is the bloody apartment that has blood spots in it that match blood spots from the actual crime scene. You know what I mean? That's where I'm at, homie. That's where my brain's at. My brain's not on pixelated images of what appear to be shadows doing things or not doing things or whatever. My brain can't get there. And I mean that with no disrespect at all. It's just my brain needs docs, not pixelated things. So, love ya. Props to you. Everybody go check out Rolo if you haven't. Thanks for being here, Rolo. Right. Where are we at? Okay. So, at Witchy. Snake they do consider. I'm trying to find this witchy person. Oh, there you are. Okay, because I'm like, wait a minute. Witchy, I think, is blocked or something because I can't see witchy, but there you are. Hello. How are you? Welcome on in. I was going to say, you're not supposed to block me, but there we go. All right. All right. Well, shit. I got to delete this one, Rolo. Sorry. He who shall not be named. Don't put him in my chat. I don't watch that guy. I don't follow nothing that guy does. I don't listen to nothing that guy says. So I literally don't care about anything else about that guy. Okay. Um, please don't mention him in my chat or I'll have to delete your comment. And I don't want to do that. But yeah, I don't follow that guy. Don't watch him. Don't listen to nothing he says. You know, I don't know, Rolla. Just saying. My audio me get fucked up. Okay, thanks, Willie. Hang on, buddy. Let me mute for a minute. I'll be right back. All right, is that any better? Try for that now. Let me know how my audio is right now, if that's any better. Just throw some ones or like a thumbs up or something. If it's starting to glitch out real bad, I may have to come back, which is fine. I don't mind. Oh, is that better? Yeah, better. Okay, cool. Awesome. I think my little external mic that I was using was dying, so I had to put it on the charger. So right now we're just using the mic on the computer, which this is the one that sometimes it'll start getting really bad and it'll start clipping out. So if it does that, I'll try and keep an eye on my phone here. I'm going to keep an eye on chat from my phone. If it starts getting really bad, put up like, red flags in the chat or something so I know that my shit's going south. All right. Let's get into the next one. All right. Rollo, I love you too, honey. I love you too, honey. All right, Rollo, listen. I don't know what your problem is. I really don't, okay? I get it. You're mad that whatever, people don't think that what you're seeing in those videos, right? There are people who think they're seeing the same thing you are, and there are people who don't. Okay. But for you to come in here saying things like this, right? Okay. There's no need for it. I'm like one of the people out here. I don't like creator drama. I definitely don't like to talk about other creators. I'm not here to mention other creators and other creators' chats. Do you get what I'm saying? And I'm not here to go into other creators' chats and then talk shit about other creators in that person's chat. So I would appreciate it if you don't do it in mine. Know what I'm saying, bro? I don't come to your channel and talk shit to you. So I don't know why you're here putting shit in my chat. I don't like it. You know what I mean? I don't like to tell people how to talk, but you know, you don't like these other creators, fine. I just don't understand why you're in my chat talking shit about them. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense, Oh, well, Meg P. I mean, that's fine. Um, Let me go see here. Kelly got timed out. Who got timed out? Sorry, I'm just trying to keep up with my chat, guys. Um, he's behind. He has no clue. Oh, you're right. Oh, he's behind. Rolo, when you finally catch up because you're 15 minutes behind, quit talking shit in my chat so I don't have to time you out. Kara Christie was timed out. Oh, okay. Kara Christie. Okay, well, you guys do what you got to do. My mods know we don't really time people out here and we don't block people. So if you do get timed out or you do get blocked, it's likely for a damn good reason. Because one thing I'm not going to put up here is you being disrespectful or talking shit to my mods. It is what it is. Okay. You won't be talking shit to my mods. They can absolutely lay down the ban hammer, and I'm totally fine with it. So, if you're going to come into the chat, be respectful. We all are allowed our own opinions here. I let everybody say whatever they want as long as they are respectful. If you are launching ad hominem attacks or being rude to my mods, well, then fuck you. You're going to get tossed. You know what I mean? Just like if you were at the club and you're drunk and you're acting a fool, bouncer's going to come and bounce your ass right out the back door and probably chuck you in the dumpster. It's kind of the same thing that happened around her, right? That's kind of how we roll up around here. So, Feminem, well, hello. Good to see you. Good to see you. So, yeah, please always be respectful when you come in. You are allowed to really say whatever you want, think whatever you want, just no ad hominem, and, be respectful. That's really all that I ask. Um, So, Kara, I'm sorry if you got timed out. You're not blocked. You probably got timed out. I don't know for how long because I can't see. But either way, just everybody try to be respectful, please. You're allowed to come in. You're allowed to have your opinions. You're allowed to disagree with me. We can disagree with each other without being assholes, right? Yeah. Are we all adults? Don't be sorry. She's vile. Willie says, okay. Meg P, 10 minutes. Cool. Gotcha. All right, darling, whatever you say. I mean, if Meg says 10 minutes, Meg says 10 minutes. It is what it is. You're out for 10 minutes. Sorry. Oh, well, hello, True Crime Questions with me. Welcome on in. Good to see you. Donna, hello. Rolo's still 15 behind. All right, let's get into the rest of these. It says we've got 135 people watching. Give it a thumbs up. Give it a thumbs down. Follow your heart. You know what I say. Let's get into the rest of this. We're trying to get to 100. If my audio starts going nuts on me, I'm going to try and keep an eye on the chat from my phone here. So if my audio goes crazy, just throw up a bunch of red flags or something like that. And I should see it out of the corner of my eye. All right, let's get into supplemental report number 74. This is, we may not get to 100 tonight, but I'm really going to try. It's already almost 11, and I feel like I need toothpicks to hold my eyeballs open. So we'll see how many more I can get through. I wanted to get to 100, but what are we at right now? 74, so not bad. Not bad. We might be able to do it. This is supplemental report number 74. It's from Brett Payne. Same day, 12/13. Same day they're swirling Brian Koberger's name around. Search warrant for redacted Queen Road. On November 15th, 2022, I applied for and was granted a search warrant for redacted Queen Road based off the following information as well as previous investigation. So this is the same place. Based off this information, Officer House and I responded to redacted Queen Road at approximately whatever fucking 1,000 hours is. 1,000 hours. I don't even know. Sick of this military time bullshit. It's 11 o'clock at night. I have brain worms. This case is melting my brain. And me trying to do military time reading this it's just outlandish. It's outlandish. Officer House and I responded to redacted Queen Road at approximately whatever hours on November 15th, 2022. We walked on the common walkway in front of the door to Showalter's apartment. I'm pretty sure it's Showalter. Echoes! Holy shit, there you are. Where have you been? I just saw you out of the corner of my eye. Hello. LG, 10 a.m. Thank you. Appreciate you. Listen, I'm not even going to try to pretend, okay? It's been a long time. I keep military time on my watch, right? Just because, like, it's how I grew up was with military time, and for some reason now my brain can't comprehend it. Just can't comprehend it for the life of me. On a paper. Don't ask me why. When I look at it on a paper and then my brain has to compute it, it's brain worms. And I can't do it. I hope you're okay, Echoes. Are you okay? Briselli, hello. Echoes, where have you been? I know that you definitely have. I know you were, man. I think I really did lose my shit that day, huh? Did I delete all my mods? Because Echo's gray too, and I don't think she's supposed to be. Echoes, that should be fixed now. I think I did. I went insane, and I think I deleted everybody except for like Heather and Lana and Willie, maybe. Yeah, I think I did. I went insane. Sure did. Hello, Echoes. I hope you're good, honey. Bree Sully. Oh, well, good to see you, darling. Chipmunk feed. I deleted you also. I never had a chipmunk feed as a mod. Unless you were a different name then. I did keep McP. Obviously, I kept Lucy. So either way, Echoes, there you are, darling. Now you're blue. Okay, cool. Where the hell is Too Fast for Fleas, by the way? Haven't seen Too Fast at all in a few days. Wherever you are, Too Fast. Hope you're doing well. Oh, name is Chip. Ay, 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 ay. Okay, Kane B, thank you. Too Fast for Fleas is Chipmunk Feet. Oh my goodness. What? Okay. Fix it. Mingya. See, if you change your name, how am I supposed to know? Too Fast for Fleas. You're so pretty. All right, let's get back into this. Okay, Too Fast. You're so purty. Purty, purty, purty. You got a purty mouth. Oh, it's definitely getting late. It's getting too late. It's getting too late. You got a purty mouth. What that mouth do? Okay, it's too late. It's too late. Annie, enough of your bullshit. All right, let's get back into this, friends. On November 15th, 2022, I applied for blah, blah, blah. Here we are. 10 a.m. on November 15th. We walked the common walkway in front of the door to Showalter's apartment and observed the exterior of the door. The area around the door had numerous spots of a dried fluid, which appeared to be rust drops from a metal roof above the apartment's door. These drops were mainly on the wall next to the door frame. We already read this in the other one. It's just a smaller version, right? The other one we read first was the extended version of this, I guess you could say. I observed what appeared to be a different fluid spot on the door approximately 8 inches up from the bottom of the door under the knob. I also noticed the deadbolt plating was clean, polished silver, and had no dirt. I walked away from the door in order to conduct an interview on a possible witness. Officer House and several members of the ISP Forensics Unit, to include Detective Hugh Powell, walked back to Blank Queen Road. I met up with Officer House and Detective Powell a short time later, and they told me they believed the spot of dried fluid on the door displayed similar characteristics to that of dried blood. Namely, Detective Powell stated the spot displayed a cracking texture common when blood dries on a surface. The spot also displayed a similar drop pattern to the blood spots found on the banister wall and the wall on the stairwell to the ground floor, which I observed inside 1122 King Road. Officer House also told me he looked at several other doorknobs and deadbolt plates on doors in the same apartment complex. all of which had a fine layer of dust. Officer House also confirmed Showalter door did not have the same layer of dust as though it had been cleaned off. I returned to Moscow Police Department and was notified by Detective Vargas, who was reviewing. Okay, so we already read this, right? We already read this. Why is it here twice? Video is infrared, thusly displayed in black and white, approximately 3:50. We already read this per the timestamp. Figure clad in dark clothing. Yeah, he wanted to say clad in black. We already read this. Why is it there twice? This is just the shorter version, I think. Whatever. Brain worms. My brain's melting. It's too late at night. Supplemental report number 74. Let's close that out. Get to number 75. File not found. Stop it. Oh, I know why. Shit. Okay, hang on. 75, right? Fuck. 75. I know why. I know why. Hang on, friends. Let me just close this shit out real quick. Wellington. Oh my goodness. Hello. Good to see you. Thank you so much. What is that? A super, I don't know what that is. If it's a super sticker, super chat, but it's adorable. It's a cute little fox and I love it. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate you, Wellington. You're amazing. Let me close out the rest of these tabs because originally I had this all open on via my hard drive and then had to remove the external hard drive so that I could replug back in my little external mic that I have. And now I need to go close all this out. I mean, I could do it after. Did I accidentally just close myself out of my StreamYard? Where is it? There it is. Crap. I thought I accidentally closed myself out. All right. So number 75. Thank you so much, Wellington. Truly appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Let's blow this one up. So we have supplemental report number 75. Danny Vargas on 12/14/2022. This is a phone interview with RR, JQ, and CW on November 15th, 2022. On November 15th, 2022, I had a phone message from the front desk to contact RR redacted, as she may have information regarding Kaylee Gonsalves having a stalker. RR stated on November 15th, 2022, at approximately 11:15, I called and spoke with R. I introduced myself to R and told her I was given her message to call about possible information regarding Kaylee having a stalker. R told me she and some friends had lunch with Kaylee around September 11th, 2022, and she thought Kaylee said something about having a stalker. R thought Kaylee mentioned receiving something in the mail. Well, now we know why the FBI showed up, looking for mail-related things. But some of the other friends at the lunch thought Kaylee mentioned getting a strange message through Facebook. R told me she had been speaking with, I just saw that other corner of my head. Dan Smith, thank you so much. I truly, truly appreciate you. Thank you so much for your super sticker or super chat. I'm not sure which one's which or what's the difference, but thank you so much, Dan. Receiving something in the mail, but some of the other friends at lunch thought she mentioned a strange message through Facebook Messenger. R told me she had been speaking with all of the friends who were at the lunch and they were trying to remember what was said. R provided me the names of the other friends who were at lunch with Kaylee on or around September 11th. There's a CW, an MB, SRBD. CW graduated last year, U of I. MB left U of I last semester. SR is a current student at WSU. Interesting. BD, unknown phone number, current U of I student. R provided me with the name JQ and told me Jay and Kaylee were very close friends and had plans to live together in June. Oh, okay. Jaden. I think her name is Jaden. R said Jay was not at the lunch, but she thought Kaylee would have spoken with her the most. R said Kaylee spoke with J, C, and B the most. I asked R if she could think of anyone who Kaylee had any issues with, and she said no. R told me Kaylee was very kind-hearted to everyone. I asked R how the conversation came up regarding the stalker at lunch with Kaylee. R said Kaylee would always talk about things in a light-hearted manner, and said one time she was speaking about childhood trauma in a joking manner, and they did not think much of it. Okay. Kaylee would always talk about things in a lighthearted manner, and said one time she was speaking about childhood trauma in a joking manner, and they didn't think much of it. R thought the stalker topic just got brought up at some point during the lunch conversation, but she couldn't remember how specifically. I thanked R for her information and told her to contact us if she remembers anything else. JQ. On November 15th, 2022 at approximately 14:30. So yeah, 2:30. See, I can do it sometimes right off the rip. And then sometimes I look at it and I'm like, it says 1,000. Why? At approximately 14:30, I called and spoke with JQ. Jay told me she and Kaylee had plans to move in together in June, and she spoke with Kaylee often. I asked Jay about the topic of Kaylee, saying she had a stalker. Jay told me she remembered Kaylee mentioning something about a stalker, but could not remember any of the details. Jay said she last saw Kaylee the weekend of October 3rd, 2022, when she came for a visit to attend the U of I football game. Jay said she also visited Kaylee around the weekend of June 14th and did not think Kaylee mentioned having a stalker either of those weekends. Jay thought the topic was brought up sometime during the previous school year, in May. Interesting. I asked Jay if Kaylee shared any information with her of having problems with anyone, and she said no. Jay told me she did not know of anyone who didn't like Kaylee or would have it out for her. I asked Jay if Kaylee mentioned having any potential love interests and said if she was seeing anybody. Jay told me when she last saw Kaylee on the weekend of October 3rd, Kaylee said she was not seeing anyone or sleeping with anyone. I asked Jay what she knew about JD, Kaylee's ex-boyfriend. Jay told me Kaylee and Jack both loved each other and did not have any hard feelings against one another. Jay said Jack and Kaylee started dating when they were younger, and Kaylee broke up with Jack so she could grow up a bit and experience other things. That's why she had 2 Tinders. Jay said at first the breakup was hard for Jack, but they remained friends. Jay said she did not know the other roommates that well that lived with Kaylee. Jay said when she visited during the weekend of October 3rd, there were a bunch of people at Kaylee's house, but no one who stood out. Jay told me she was with CW and handed the phone to whoever that is so I could speak with her. So CW is a her. I have no idea who it is. Let me check my chat and make sure my audio ain't freaking blowing out on me. How's everybody doing? Hopefully my audio is holding out for me. Willat, hello. Welcome on in, Willat. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you stopping by. Detective Mowry, there you are, you sandbagging son of a bitch. Where have you been? I had questions for you earlier, Detective Mowry. Good to see you. Happy Friday, sir. this deleted message here. Oh, Truth Seeker, hello. Good to see you. Welcome on in. Colleen, hello. Sorry, friends. Joanne, LG. Alec online, hello. Good to see you. Justice. Okay, audio's good. Thank you so much. Tanel, hello. Detective, you're just sandbagging away, huh? Good for you, friend. Good for you. Sandbag away. Do what you gotta do. All right, CW is a she. Okay. I told C I had spoken with R about the lunch they had with Kaylee and the topic of the stalker. C said she and her friends have all discussed the stalker topic and could not remember exactly what was said. I asked C if there was anyone Kaylee spoke to her about, and she said no. C told me she graduated from the university last year and was not in Moscow and did not spend that much time with Kaylee. C said she did not know anyone who did not like Kaylee or had it out for her, and she did not know Kaylee's roommates. I thanked C for speaking with me. C gave the phone back to J, who told me I should speak with Kaylee's friend, NG. Redacted. J said, oh no, redacted, and said N and Kaylee spent a lot of time together. C and J both provided me with their current addresses. I thanked both J and C for speaking to me and told them to contact us if they remembered anything. My conversation with R, J, and C were all recorded and copied to a DVD. Oh, okay. Yeah, NG. Yeah, NG. Yeah, I think that's what it said, right? Oh, it's a G. Am I saying C? My bad. It's a G? Are you sure? Let me look at that. Oh, you're right. It's a G. I need glasses. Holy shit. NG. Okay, gotcha. Okay. Honestly. And this is why we shouldn't redact anything. Just redact the name if you need to. But outside of that, so stupid. You're leaving in the first initial. Okay, conversations with RJ and C were all recorded and copied to a DVD. Okay. Interesting. 75. So people are not familiar about a stalker when asked, not sure about a stalker. But Kaylee would say and talk about things in a very light-hearted manner, including talking about childhood trauma in a joking manner. Okay. 75. Let's stop sharing that. That was number 75. Okay. Let's get to number 76. Move that. Oh boy. For the love. Oh yeah, you're right. Mama 5. Yep, just saw that out of the corner of my eye. You're probably right about that one. 76. All right. Make that a little bit bigger. Supplemental report number 76. This is Lawrence Mowry, December 15th. Oh, December 15th, huh? Forensic extraction. A. iPhone provided by J.A. Jaden Anderson. No facts here, I don't know shit, but in my opinion, it's probably who it is. J.A. Jaden Anderson. Maybe not, though. Either way, on December 13th, so exactly 1 month after the crime, and on the same day Brent is being swatted, I'm sorry, 1 month after the crime, and this report is being typed up, on the same day Brent is being swatted. We have a JA here who, December 13th, I was requested to complete a forensic extraction on an iPhone provided by JA. A signed a consent to search form for the device, and it was provided to me by ISP Detective Hugh Powell. The form has been uploaded to the case file. The phone was powered on, and I placed it into airplane mode to protect any potential evidence on the phone from being removed or remotely deleted. Interesting. I took photos of the device and attached them to the case file. The phone required a passcode to access the data on the device. Maybe it's not Anderson because this is a very short last name now that I think of it. Jaden, sorry, it's not Jaden now that I'm looking at it. Provided by J.A. with a very short last name. Not even sure who that is. Let's see. I took photos of the device, attached them to the case file. The phone required a passcode. A provided the passcode. And examining the iPhone, I first looked for identifiers. Indica of use and ownership. The device was black in color with a black colored case. The device was running iOS 15.1 and showed model number blah, blah, blah. The name of the phone was J something iPhone. The phone had a serial number of redacted and IMEI of redacted. It showed the user as redacted with an email of redacted. The phone number assigned to the phone was redacted. What is this? In continuing with my examination of the phone, I made the following changes to the phone's settings. Auto lock was turned off. These changes allow the phone and the forensic computer to communicate and share information properly. The phone was then connected to the forensic computers running the following forensic software tools. So they did Magnet Axiom and they did Cellbrite on this one. Hope we get those Cellbrite reports. This extraction was saved to a computer located at the Computer Forensics Lab, Moscow Police. Examination of the data will be conducted at my earliest convenience. The phone was returned to A. J.A. Okay. Number 76. Stop sharing that. I want to try to make it to 80. I'm probably not going to make it to 100, but I'll at least try and get to 80. Let's get to 77. No. All right. Make this one a little bit bigger. All right. This is our supplemental report from none other than Chief James Fry. I think it's the first one I've seen. Then again, I don't know. It's all a blur. It's all a blur. And this is also being typed up on the same day Brent is being swatted. Interview with SP. SP was born in 1953, it looks like. That's interesting. On December 13, 2022, at approximately whatever hours, I interviewed SP in Redacted, Idaho, at the Redacted. P had called me several days earlier to report some information he had regarding the quadruple homicide. I asked P if the information he would be sharing would be dealing with one person. P told me it would. I asked P if I could get the individual's name. P told me the person's name was Redacted or Redacted, later identified as GM, born 2003. Later identified as GM, born in 2003. P told me he did not know the individual's last name, but believed he knew where he lived. P told me he lived in the Redacted apartments. P told me this apartment is just off of Redacted Ave, then turn onto Redacted Lane, and then right onto Redacted Street. And the apartment is across from the Redacted. P told me G lives in those apartments. P began by explaining to me that he had done a lot of work for DK, who is the prior owner of Redacted. P told me he has been a friend of the family for many years and has done handyman jobs in the past for D. P told me in 2020 he drove D, his daughter L, and G up to a place the family goes to have vacation almost every year. P told me after they got there, R, who is one of D's sisters, got into an altercation who was camped near where they were. P told me it was a heated argument, but everyone eventually went back to their campsites. P told me later in the evening he noticed R and L were walking past the male's campsite, so he went up on the hill where he could observe and make sure nothing was going to happen. P told me he had been up on the hillside for several minutes in the dark when all of a sudden G just appeared out of nowhere. P told me it startled him for a minute because he never heard or saw where G came from. Like a fucking ninja. Just like a ninja. Incredible. We have a ninja who entered this fucking house, don't we? Just saying. We got ninjas running around all over the place out here. Just everywhere. And Brian's a fucking ninja. This guy's a ninja. Ninja. It's like they trained to be ninjas out there or some shit. You know what I mean? For the love. Startled him for a minute because he never heard or saw where G came from. R told me G pulled out a knife to show him. Oh, that's a P. P told me G pulled out a knife to show him. P told me this was a hunting-style knife. P told me he had spoken to G, who had showed a great interest in having a career in the military. I asked P if he could describe the knife to me. P told me it was typical 7-inch blade hunting skinning knife. Interesting. Weren't they looking for a 7-inch sheath? Right? Allegedly, the knife and sheath. Isn't there a 7-inch sheath in that house? But yet, allegedly, the weapon that they were all killed with must have been a much larger weapon. It's a large fixed blade weapon. It's not a 7-inch K-bar. Right? I don't think the 7-inch K-bar sheath has anything to do with the large fixed blade weapon that actually inflicted the injuries. But that's just my opinion. I don't know shit. 7-inch blade. Yeah, because that was, if I remember correctly, the sheath they were looking for the purchases of. The K-bar style knife and sheath that they were putting warrants out for was 7-inch, was it not? Maybe I'm wrong. I feel like that's stuck in my brain for some reason. That's another brain worm in my brain. The 7-inch knife and sheath. Whatever. All right. P told me he had heard that G's grades in schools had dropped and that L had been extremely verbally abusive to him. I asked how L and G would travel to Moscow from Boise. P told me he believed they would ride the bus when they traveled. P told me when they stayed in Moscow at D house, G and his sister would stay in the basement and L would sleep outside or in one of the 2 sheds in the backyard. What? Oh my God. P told me the significance of this was that G would keep his knives in the basement of D's house, in the wood pile that was outside, or in one of the 2 sheds in the backyard. Interesting. P told me around the end of May or sometime into the middle of June, after COVID was letting up, he was at the Mad Greek having a late lunch or early dinner. P told me this was on a Saturday or a Sunday. P told me he had ordered a glass of wine, which he is sure Ethan brought to him. P told me he is not sure if Ethan worked at the Mad Greek or was just helping out. P told me a bit later he noticed G had come into the restaurant with possibly D, who is G's cousin. P told me Xana and Madison had gone over to G's table and Ethan later joined them. Xana and Madison goes over to G's table and Ethan later joined them. Interesting. P told me it appeared to be a heated conversation, but he could not tell what it was about. P suspected it may have to do with cancel culture and that G was stirring them up with conservative comments. Well, I'm not so sure about that. P told me G left without eating anything. Later that night, around 9 to 10 p.m., P was at D's house in his backyard. P said that L was extremely drunk and she was yelling at G. P said she stated, quote, "You were just a loser and you are going to spend your life in jail. You are ruining your life." End quote. P was not sure what L was referencing when she said this. P told me G left right after this altercation and did not see him again. P told me G left right after this altercation and did not see him again. P told me G goes on long walks and does not return until the early morning hours. P told me he was over at D's the next morning picking up some tarps from a job he had been doing, and G showed up. So P is picking up tarps from a job he'd been doing, and G showed up. P told me he asked G what he does after he leaves when his mom is yelling at him. G told him he goes over to the college. P told me G believes the college is to blame for his mom. P explains that L went to parties at the college and began drinking. P told me he does not know for sure, but believes that L may have been raped at one of the college parties. His mom? What? 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 Hang on. Maybe L is not the mother. Hang on. Yeah, no, the mom gets drunk and yells at him and is verbally abusive, right? I think the mom is L. L is extremely drunk and yelling at, yeah. You're just a loser. You're going to spend your life in jail. You're ruining your life. Not sure, but believes that L may have been raped at one of the college parties. What? P told me he asked G about the conversation that took place at the Mad Greek. P said that G told him that he had followed the girls to the Mad Greek from the college. G told P that the two girls were lesbians. G told P he had went back to the girls' house, and when they came home, he was inside the house and made the statement, quote, "They had no idea that I was there. I could have killed them all if I had wanted to," end quote. Wonder if this is when they came home to their door open. He was still inside the house, and they didn't even know he was there. This case is full of alternative perpetrators. Isn't that what Massa said? She wasn't fucking kidding. G told P he had went back to the girl's house. So he followed them to the restaurant. Then he went back to their house because he knew they weren't there. And when they came home, he was inside the house. And they didn't even know he was there. They had no idea that he was there, and he could have killed them all if he wanted to. That's his quote. I'll bet you this is when they came home to the door open. Wonder if this is the shadow Kaylee was seeing outside, the shadowy figure hanging around out back, watching her while she walked the dog. Now we know why Elisa Masseth is saying this case is full of alternative perpetrators. She literally wasn't kidding. And like the apartment riddled in blood, right? Okay, top of the list, right? But then this one right here, yeah, no, we're going to put him at number 2. We're going to put G here at number 2, right? So the bloody apartment on Queen Road, definitely number 1. You could have had a secondary crime scene. How do you know you didn't have 2 crime scenes? Right? Like, how do you know for a fact you didn't have 2 crime scenes? If you have this other apartment that's like right down the street, and that apartment happens to have blood also all over the inside, spattered on the walls and things like that, just reasonable deduction, logical conclusion. Hey, we may have a secondary crime scene, right? But now I'm really wondering, this G person, if this incident where he's claiming he followed them to the restaurant and then went back to the house while they weren't there, and then they came home and they had no idea I was there. I could have killed them all if I wanted to, end quote. P told me G then went and got a larger knife from out of the back of the shed and showed him. P told me every time he was around G and G's mom would explode on him, he always stayed very calm and would not react to her. Maybe he'd rather go take it out on somebody else. Poor kid. Not even going to knock him, All I know is that what I'm reading here, it sounds like we have a young person being raised by an alcoholic mother, drunk mother, who is verbally and physically abusive. He wanders around until early morning hours, has tons of large knives, and admits that he followed 2 of these victims to their work and then went back to their house because he knew they weren't home, went inside the house and basically hid there. And even when they came home, they had no clue he was still in the house, and proceeded to tell this person, I could have fucking killed them all if I wanted to. Holy shit. And this report was taken by none other than James fucking Fry, bro. This was typed up by James Fry, if I remember correctly. Did I read that right? Yeah, this is James Fry. Holy shit. Mingya. 77. Stop sharing that. Let me go grab number 78. Holy shit. My God. What are we at? 78. All right, 1 page. We can do this. Let's see. This is Supplemental Report 78. Danny Vargas. It's on 12/19/2022. On December 7th, 2022, I assisted with packing up and moving personal belongings from 1122 King Road. This is before anybody's arrested. This is before a suspect is even named. Packing that shit right up and cleaning that place out. To the MPD secured storage garage. KP, Captain Lanier, and I packed up the items in BF's room and DM's room. On December 8th, I spoke with RM, who is an attorney for M. I'm guessing Mortensen. Mortensen initially wanted to retrieve some items Oh, M initially wanted to retrieve some items from Mortensen, but then stated Mortensen would come retrieve all of her items sometime after the holidays. On December 15th, 2022, I got to share the doc. Oh, hang on. I can't. Where I'm reading it from is actually like in my files, honey. I'm sorry. It's like in my downloads. It was supplemental report. We're at 78. It's 77. So for anybody who wants it, go find supplemental report number 77, and that's where you're going to find what we just went over. Sorry. All of this is like in my, sorry, it's already saved. It's in my stuff, so I can't share it with you. I'm not doxing myself or anything. You know what I mean? I'm not giving you access to my Google. So sorry. All right. So let's see. Danny Vargas, 12/19, report number 78. December 8th, spoke with RM. She's going to come and get her shit after the holidays. Okay. On December 15th, I spoke with TB, who is a blank, I'm guessing it says an attorney for Funky, or an attorney, yeah, for Funky. V asked if we could send Funky her reading glasses, passport, and iPad to redacted with the investigator who would be coming to interview her. Hang on one second, friends. Oh, you mean you can't see it on the screen, honey? Okay, that's how you know it's getting late. It's getting late. Holy shit. So I'm reading it, but I'm not sharing. My bad. There you are, friends. Is that better? Oopsie. Oopsie poopsie. Is that any better? Okay, there we go. No? What's it doing? Right? Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. There we go. My bad. Wasn't sharing it on screen. Sorry, friends. Oopsie. Oopsie poopsie. All right, let's get back over here, Miss Funky. On December 15th. So on December 15th, the same day that poor Brent is being swatted and killed, they're speaking with the lawyer for Funky. And Funky wants her reading glasses, passport, and iPad to be delivered to her with the investigator who's going to be coming to interview her anyway. Captain Lanier and I retrieved the reading glasses and passport from Funky's personal items at the MPD secure storage. I sent an email to B stating, we would be sending the glasses and passport, but could not release the iPad yet, as it was one of the items seized during the search warrant. B asked when Funky could get the rest of her personal belongings, and I told him she could contact me and we would make arrangements to return all of her items, which are in our secure storage. I gave Funky glasses and passport to ISP Mike Mooney, who would be giving the items to the appropriate ISP investigator, who would be traveling to Redacted to speak with Funky. Everything is white. I don't know why it's doing that. Weird. Supplemental report number 78. I just kind of want to leave off on an even number, though. Like, that's why I want to get to 80, because I don't want to leave off on an odd number or anything. So we're going to get to 80, and then I'm going to shut this shit down because I'm tired. So let's do number 79, because I can't end it on an uneven note. You know what I mean? All right, 79. Make that bigger. Make sure I share it this time. Let's try that. All right. So we have supplemental report number 79, Lawrence Mowry, December 19th, 2022. These are for Meta warrants. On December 1st, 2022, I requested an amended warrant for Meta, the parent company of Facebook and Instagram, for the accounts associated with the following identifiers. On December 2nd, I received a signed warrant. On December 4th, at approximately 13:31, I logged into the Meta law enforcement portal located at blah, 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 and served the warrant. During the service of the warrant, I found I was not able to add the phone number of redacted as an identifier for JD. This information was not entered into the portal. On December 8th, 2022, Meta sent me an email stating the files were ready to be downloaded. I logged into the portal and downloaded the files provided pursuant to the warrant. These files were downloaded to a computer in the secure computer forensics lab at the Moscow Police Department. An examination of the data will be conducted at my earliest convenience. Okay. What was that? Meta. Amended Meta warrant with the following identifiers. December 8th. Okay. Stop sharing. That was report number 79. We are almost there. Let's go grab number 80. And let me make sure I share it. All right. All right, buckle up, witches. Last one. This is supplemental report number 80. Lawrence Mowry, December 19th. This is for Reddit. On December 1st, I applied and was granted a warrant for all information in Reddit's possession consisting of information related to the crimes of homicide. Related to the crime of a homicide on the Reddit account of Kaylee Gonsalves. What? On December 1st, 2022, I applied for and was granted a warrant for all information in Reddit's possession consisting of information related to the crime of homicide on the Reddit account of Kaylee Gonsalves with any of the following identifiers. Her name, mobile phone number. Oh, mobile phone of blank. Mobile phone of redacted. Email address redacted, Yahoo and Gmail between January 1st, 2021 to December 1st, 2022. Interesting. On December 1st, 2022, at approximately 14:09, the warrant was served. On December 19th, I received an email from Reddit containing the data requested pursuant to the warrant. The files were downloaded to the forensics lab, completed the warrant, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Sidebar. Remember a while back when I covered the T-Mobile warrant, I said Kaylee, Dylan, and Brian, right? That was the title of the live. Something to do with Kaylee, Dylan, Brian, and the goddamn T-Mobile shit. Okay? T-Mobile. Lawrence Mowry puts the exact same language in his T-Mobile warrant for Dylan and Kaylee's phones that is right here, okay, in this for Reddit. Okay? Information He is serving a warrant because he is looking for all information in Reddit's possession. Did the same thing with T-Mobile. All information in the possession of T-Mobile consisting of information related to the crime of homicide on the T-Mobile accounts of Kaylee and Dylan between like June 23rd and August 1st, I think it was, if I remember correctly. Lawrence Mowry was telling T-Mobile way back then that he believed evidence of the crime of homicide was going to be in those two phones for the time period of June to August. It was like June 23rd to August 1st. And now we have the same language here for Kaylee's Reddit. On December 1st, he's telling Reddit that, he's looking for all information related to the crime of homicide in this Reddit account from January 1st, 2021 to December 1st, 2022. Wild. Absolutely wild. Okay. All right. Well, that's supplemental report number 80. I'm going to stop sharing that. What I'm going to do is, first of all, I just want to say thank you to every single one of you for hanging out here. There's almost 200 of you. Hope you gave it a thumbs up, thumbs down, follow your heart. But holy shit. I think what I'm going to do is maybe tomorrow try and do like 101 through, no, we only got to 80 here, right? So I'll have to do 81 to like, I don't know, 120. We'll see how far we get. I mean, this is absolutely insane. So, so Detective Mowry believes that evidence of the crime of homicide is only going to be in Kaylee's Reddit, huh? Not anybody else's? Only hers? That's interesting. Don't you think? I don't know. I don't even know what else to say, and I don't know what else to think, other than it's brainworms. It's all brainworms. It's a brain parasite. It's exactly what this case is. It's just one big brain parasite, and we're all living with it. It's the cordyceps. It's cordyceps, right? Coburger cordyceps is what this is, right? So, hopefully you guys go and enjoy what's left of the rest of your Friday evening. It's almost midnight where I am. This is a very late one for me. And yeah, normally you guys don't get me this late, and you definitely don't get me on a Friday. So, happy Friday to all of us. And yeah. So, holy shit. I don't know. It's what it sounds like, right, Joanne? I mean, it's what the police are making it sound like in their requests and their warrants. They're making it sound like this girl here, the evidence of the crime of homicide is going to be in her Reddit and her phone for this specific time. And oh my goodness gracious. For the love. Chipmunk Pete. I hope you have a great night, Dan Smith. Thank you so much. Appreciate you being here. Mods, love you. Thank you. Lucy, Meg, Kane. Who else am I missing? Echoes, P. Fox, Chipmunk. I don't even know who else I'm missing, because I deleted most of my mods and then brought them all back because, sorry, I'm an asshole. Willie, hello. Thank you for being here. You guys are awesome. It's getting late. I'm getting tired. I hope you guys have an awesome night. Frosty, Phantom. Well, hello. Good to see you. Yeah, I'll be out cold in 10 minutes. I'm literally going to go crawl it. I'm going to brush my teeth and crawl into bed, and I will literally be snoring as soon as my head hits the pillow. So I appreciate all of you. I hope you have an awesome night. Thank you so much to my mods. You guys are fucking awesome, and I really mean that. I appreciate you. And yeah, I'll catch y'all tomorrow. We're going to pick it right back up tomorrow. Make sure you turn on your notifications, and it should let you know when I schedule something. So Take care, everyone. Have a great night. See you tomorrow. Bye.